here we go. What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building, bro. Wait.
Ah,
Selamat berpuasa for me lah.
oh
Happy Ramadan
yes.
to everyone that is fasting today.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we are recording this on a Sunday a few days
That's right.
before because you want to get it out of the way so that I can focus on my ibadah in my
Yes.
religious work. But
A-
hey,
And
all
we
good.
appreciate you joining us here on this Tuesday afternoon. If you are, in fact, watching it as the podcast is premiering right now, we might be in the comments saying hi to you as well. You never know, right? But here's the thing. Just want to say once again, all our Patreons, we appreciate you so very much. Your name will show up on the ticker in just a little while. Want to say hello to everybody who's in our Discord. Hey, yes, we have a Discord. You can come chat with us about pro wrestling. Come join us. Links are in the description.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's WrestleMania season.
Woo!
Times are changing. There's a lot of stuff you want to talk about from SmackDown as well. And you know what? I gotta give props to AEW. They have finally, have some buzz coming out of AEW Revolution, some new signings and nothing else. Wrestling is popping across all the companies and brands as well.
Well, you know the saying, we brought it up before, high tide rises or all ships, right? And because, I mean, hey, I don't want to take away anything from what AEW is doing, but the reason the buzz is there is because WWE is hitting it on all cylinders, right?
Yeah, for sure. And a shout out as well to our patrons because I owe our newest patron, Justin, I believe, and Jeff G, our merch because I just reordered our freaking Patreon Mark, our KTTG Mark.
Let's
So
go.
I'm gonna give it to them. I have no idea where Jeff G lives, so if anyone from Grapplemax want to hit him up, let him know that I got his mark. I'll pass it to him.
Or you pass it to me. I always see him at the Grapplemax events. I just talked to him over this past, last night. It was last night. Oh my God. Okay. As you are watching this, we are recording on a Sunday. So yes, I have the Grapplemax Battle at the Barracks very fresh in my mind. And yes, we will talk about that review in just a bit. Also a little bit later on the show because SPW Stronghold is happening on this Friday. Oh, okay. To be honest, I'm a little bit like, how's he gonna be? Because we've said some rather, I guess some would say unsavory things about this fellow, but I say it with much love because, as a performer who's supposed to be a bad guy, he pulls it off very well because he has such a CB face. That's what we've called him, CB face.
Yes. And unfortunately or fortunately, he has heard all our comments.
Yeah.
And he is going to be on the show later on. CK Vin from SPW. He's going to give us his comments. He's going to give his response to what we've been saying about him. And he's going to also help us preview SPW Stronghold this weekend as well.
That's correct. So you guys stick around for it, man. I'm a little bit nervous, not gonna lie, bro. If anything, because you have the wrestling training, right? Can I say that you came up with the name?
No, cannot. I'm just gonna throw you under the bus. I'm gonna throw you under the bus after this.
Don't like this. I took a spear for you, but anyway, okay. We'll get to that in just a little while. But first, let's talk about the things that have been going on in pro wrestling right now. WWE, AEW. I guess if you want to go I forgot how to speak English. Chronologically,
yes.
Yes. Let's start with AEW and their latest signing. The man who is now all elite, the Rainmaker himself, Okada, has joined AEW.
Yeah, okay. So, some context, right? We just came off AEW Revolution.
Yes.
We said goodbye to Sting. And then, there's a lot of chatter going on because this coming week, it's AEW Big Business with the expected signing of Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
But we were always thinking like, there was that one other free agent that is out there. Is he going to go to WWE, NXT? But, clearly he's really made his presence known. Okada from New Japan just finished up, his time there, has joined AEW. So I was curious because for the first time in a very long time, I watched AEW Dynamite from start to finish.
Oh, right? Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think there was some rumblings that there's going to be like a rebranding. They're going to kind of like change up the aesthetic of the show.
The new logo, I've seen the new logo. I quite like. It's quite nice, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw the new logo. So when I watched the show, the intro has changed. So it's no longer that song that Light the Fuse, Dynamite. Like it's no longer that.
Yeah.
It's a very Attitude Era intro package. I don't know if anybody can pull it up and show it. Maybe on our Discord or our Instagram page. But it's a very nice intro. So I was like, hey, okay, cool. I'm feeling it. And then when the show started out, brand new Titantron, new setup on the stage, but they brought back the tunnels. So I've always liked the tunnels, Mr. Young, because they always say that, there was the face tunnel and the heel tunnel.
Correct.
So I hope that this is a sign that they're going back to the basics. They're gonna go back to straightforward storytelling. We're gonna know who the heel, who the face is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. For a moment, I was like, is Bryan Danielson a heel or face? Is John Moxley a heel or face? So now that they know, we will shall see which tunnels they come out from, right? You kind of know for sure.
Bro, it cannot be that black and white, right? And also, John Moxley, doesn't he come out from the crowd? So that means he's neither face nor heel. If he doesn't come out of the shall we call it the alignment tunnel? If you come out from the left one, you are face. The right one, you're heel. Okay, well, I mean, hey, I might give Dynamite a bit of a watch, this upcoming week. Now that you've sold me on it, I'm like, okay. But the show itself, just talk about the show itself. Did you find it enjoyable?
Okay, I would say, of course, I do not know what goes on behind the scenes. They had a new recent, creative writer or like a head of creative just join AEW, like this lady from WWE. Apparently they have more Tony Khan has apparently delegated more of his creative work.
Hey, that's only a good thing. We've been saying, look, hey, much respect, but you got too much shit on your plate. Give this to other people who know what they're doing. Yeah,
correct. So I feel, and maybe it's because I've taken a break from AEW. The show seems more focused and they are making effort to tell more stories.
Okay.
You can see like the different storylines that's kind of happening right now, right? Whether it is Swerve Strickland and, Samoa Joe saying that it's not over.
Yep.
They also talk about what happens next for Darby Allin. So Darby Allin is officially has relinquished his tag team title and talk about how, nobody can measure up to Sting. I don't think I can foresee myself having any other partner again in AEW.
Hey, that's a great way for transitioning him out of a tag team wrestler into singles. Well, I mean, he's going to go take MC to, not take MC, take leave, climb Mount Everest, right?
I don't know whether he's being dramatic, but he was saying, I might not come back alive. So, if this was my way to go out, I'm more than happy. I mean, I'm like, okay, bro, like just be safe.
And you know what? Him taking a break, I guess is a good thing because now the last thing we remember of him is that ridiculous spot, slicing his back up. And when he comes back, I think he's going to get such a big pop.
Yeah. But though, right, I need to say something, bro. So apparently for big business, he's going to have a one-on-one match for the first time ever with Jay White. So the Bang Bang Scissor Gang actually interrupted Darby Allin. But this confused me. You know why, Mr. Young?
Why?
Because I thought recently, they all came together. They are a babyface team now, right?
Yeah.
But he straight away came back, acted as a complete heel. So this Jay White was like, okay, so there's some logical gaps there that I have no idea what's happening there.
Okay.
And bro, Jay White fucking boring, sia. He can't, bro. He came. He tried to promo. He tried to be like, tried to get the crowd. He kept mentioning the audience. I don't know what city they were from. Don't you think blah 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 X city? Do you want to hear what WS? Like he really tried to be engaging. No. But I tell you, with one line, WS completely just cut his legs off, bro.
What did he say?
I can't remember verbatim what he said, but sure. It was along the lines of like, you came in with all the hype in the world, and you just end up playing with a cardboard, like he's just saying that your run in AEW has been shit. You have been found out. You're not as great as you were made out to be. Basically, New Japan, like Japan, kind of like put you in a pedestal, put you in a position that you got exposed here in North America. Some very bad remarks lah.
Okay, I mean, we've heard Darby Allin actually cut these really good, really cutting promos before, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't like, from what you're describing to me, it doesn't kind of make sense. Like, okay, now he's going to go up against Jay Lethal. Jay White.
Yeah.
So, talking about another guy who's not doing anything. And then he's going to disappear for a while. After he had the epic match with Sting. Yeah, the booking is still a little bit suspect to me here.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, right? So, like, what are you going to do if it's going to put over Jay White because, he becomes suddenly very vicious and attacks Darby Allin, putting out of commission? Fine. But again, you're not explaining how did he turn heel?
Yeah.
How did he suddenly become a bad guy again? Switch back and forth. So, like, that was very problematic, in my opinion.
Bro, he can switch back and forth because he's the switchblade.
Okay, Mr. Young. Okay. I didn't expect you to give a justification, but...
I am not. I'm just... Okay, look. I need to go and watch the show. to,
To
to have it
understand.
make sense lah.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up the results of Dynamite because I'm trying to jog my memory. As great as it was,
Well,
certain things did make me forget.
Okay, well, that's the thing though. I think that's a fair point to make because if it's not memorable, then it just wasn't a memorable segment. So I would
Yeah.
think that most people remember it for the big signing, the Okada signing, right? And the fact that he came out and everybody thought, oh, he's going to be a good guy, babyface. But no, he is joining the elite. Or he has joined the elite.
Correct. Yeah. So that was like the big story, right? Clearly the Young Bucks have dusted themselves off. And I have given credit to Young Bucks from the previous episode where we did the podcast. They played their roles as heels for Sting really, really well. Right? So take nothing away from their performance. Now they're back to being asshole heels. They talk about the tournament. So this upcoming tag team tournament again. Tony Khan loves his tournaments. They did say that they wanna insert themselves into the tournament. But then, before anything could happen, suddenly Eddie Kingston come out. Okay, so Eddie Kingston interrupted them, and Eddie Kingston just came off a great performance show against Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson apparently seems to revert back to a babyface or like a tweener. So he really gave respect to Kingston. They told that story, done, right?
Yeah.
Fresh restart. He come out. He was like, like doing Eddie Kingston things, shitting on the Young Bucks, which everybody loves. And then tiba, Okada all of a sudden came out, right?
Yeah.
And when Okada came out, I was like, okay, what are they gonna do with Okada that makes it a big deal? Because we have seen them debuting or like showing all these Japanese wrestlers coming, and then they feel like just another face.
Yeah, the expectation that we should know who this fella is,
Correct.
Yeah.
They never and there was this one time during Forbidden Door last year or 2 years ago where he come out, he just wear t-shirt and pants. He looked like, he doesn't look like a star.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. The presentation, right? Like how Kyle O'Reilly made his big return looking like a homeless bum. Like, what's going on? He looks jacked. Like, why not have him dressed? Yeah. So
he looks So I was like tentative, like, okay, how are they gonna make Okada a star, right? And I'm so happy that they're giving Okada a storyline and they're gonna protect him in a way where you can't expect him to cut babyface promos and suddenly speak English all of a sudden. He's not there yet, right?
Yeah, he can't. Yeah.
So if nothing else, turning him heel and having the Young Bucks be his spokesperson helps him, right?
Yeah,
in a way.
Well, and of course, who got kicked out of the elite? It's Kenny Omega, and we know Okada Omega is like that match that that's probably what they're gunning for, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna do it either Forbidden Door or maybe All In London. If nothing else, it is a marquee match.
Yeah,
but when they had that so-called Match of the Year Classic, that was in 2017, bro. That's 7 years ago and multiple injuries ago. So
yeah, I mean, it still has that cachet. You know what I mean? I think it's still a headlining match that could sell tickets. So let's worry about the quality because of their physical abilities. Let's leave that for another day. At the end of the day, it's about drumming up the the vibes. I mean, Hogan couldn't wrestle properly by then, but that didn't matter because it was about the characters. And hopefully, in this case, they can tell that story as well. I don't know if Tony Khan needs to go and buy or pay for the archival footage, but that's what he needs to do.
My question to you though, like, do you think Okada made the right decision joining AEW over WWE?
Yes, I agree with it 100% because I can't remember the exact amount, but I saw the money and I was like, bro, it's crazy. The amount of money, like how many billion yen or something like that. It's a contract that WWE would not have offered because
business
it doesn't.
Sense-wise,
it makes no business sense for a company like TKO because let's not forget. And I know the hardcore fans are going to come at me for this, but most people don't know who Okada is, right? Only that audience, that diehard audience, will know who he is. So he fits perfectly into AEW. For WWE, if they had to pay that amount of money, not only would you have to pay that amount of money, you would have to build him up from scratch, probably get him a mouthpiece as well. And he is on the tail end of his career. He's not like the physical specimen or the worker that he once was back in 2017, whatever his prime was, right? So for WWE, it was never going to be a good investment. For Okada, he's trading his legacy and name for a shit ton of money. And why more power to him? The same applies to Mercedes Moné. Look, she's already made her name, right? why, why not go for the big money? The rumor was that WWE wasn't going to bring back Sasha Banks because she asked for too much money. Well, if you got a billionaire over here who loves his action figures, who will pay for it, why not? More power to you.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're a Japanese wrestler and you're from New Japan, if you're trying to transition to America, I think AEW is the more natural transition because it still feels familiar. You still have ties back to New Japan if you want to go back. WWE is like literally a whole new world for them, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like you kind of never know how you'll be taken, you'll be packaged. Whereas here, you know that okay, even if I get booked to shit, I'm still making millions. About how I feel like I should pull up how much he's making, but you know what I mean? Like I cannot fault him for that.
Yeah. I think it was like 4.5 million a year or something. It's like 12 million in total or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's like he'd be mad
ridiculous.
not to take it.
Yeah, but you know what? I can see the the business sense for Okada to go to AEW. Of course, the schedule. You don't forget about the schedule as well.
Yeah.
They have more familiarity, and he has very familiar opponents. Wrestlers that he's wrestled. He understands the style, so it works out for AEW. So my question is, we know he can perform in the ring. We know his style. How can AEW make him a bigger star and more familiar to the North American audience? They got to give him a storyline. They got to do what they're doing now. So let's be honest, nobody expected him to turn heel.
Yeah.
I thought it was brave of AEW, and hey, I'm giving kudos here if it's deserved. So I thought this was a great, smart, creative decision to make him heel. So
yeah,
let's see where it goes.
And also because the Bucks are really leaning heavy, and this might be a first, but I have given them credit before. But yes, I agree with you. I will give them credit that it is something fresh, right? So he's not just coming in as a white meat babyface because that's all he can do. And he can't pull off the amazing moves and whatever that he used to in his prime. So yeah, have him come in as a heel, and at some point the Bucks will screw him, and then that's when he can turn face. But have people despise him for a while first.
Yeah.
Get used to him.
I think that's fine. And on the flip side as well, they also have, of course, brought Ospreay back. Will Ospreay had that match with Takeshita, and for this the Dynamite main event, it was him against Carl Fletcher. Carl Fletcher, of course, from Aussie Open, and his partner is on the shelf for an injury. He's kind of part of the Don Callis family. They had a great, I would say a Rev Pro UK style match. Great indie match. Nothing against them, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that I hope Will Ospreay learns, because Will Ospreay knows only how to do 30-40 minutes Japanese bangers, Wrestle Kingdom style, like 5-star matches, right?
Yeah.
He only knows how to do that. I've not seen him do TV matches.
Oh.
I haven't seen him do storylines, week to week episodic storytelling that leads to a pay-per-view. He hasn't done that. And to his credit, during the press scrum, he admitted as such, I'm here to learn. I want to grow myself. I'm going to test myself in this genre or this format.
Well, bro, he's learning from the wrong people because AEW has proven they can't really do TV matches. Like we've always said, if you want to take it as an insult, sure, but they run their show, their TV shows and their pay-per-views like an indie show.
Yeah. My worry is that just from watching this match with Carl Fletcher, it was a great match.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take anything away from that match. But can he run 100 miles an hour every single week doing this kind of matches for the next X number of years? He's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
He's going to end up becoming
injured, burnt out. Yeah.
The reason why we kind of started not liking the Young Bucks matches because it became so much spectacular that it just blur.
Yeah, no, it becomes the same old shit, right? Like, wow, it's very athletic, but it's every week, so it doesn't become special anymore. No, 100%. This is the core, quote-unquote, criticism we've levied against AEW. They don't know how to save a bit for the big moment. Not everything shit it out there, right?
All right.
Also, did they explain... Okay, so did they shake hands after? Because I'm still having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that a heel manager... Don Callis, a heel manager, is making his clients or allowing his clients to fight each other and have it be all like, shake hands. Like, what is going on? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
They have started to tease that it's almost as if they're running him through the gauntlet. making him challenge all the members of his family.
Yeah.
I can see if this is what they're trying to do. Eventually, Will Ospreay is gonna be the baby face. He's gonna
Turn.
be pitting against them. Yeah. So at this point, because Kyle and Ospreay has the history, they came together. They were part of the United Empire in New Japan. So they played it out more. It's more like a brother versus brother kind of fighting each other. But you can see the rumblings in the background. So I hope they play on that track.
But you know what I mean or not?
Yeah.
Like you think back to any heel manager with a stable, right? They would never put their guys against each other. That makes zero sense logically. Why would you, if I'm representing 3 athletes, why would I have them fight each other? That makes no sense whatsoever. Unless, okay, maybe there was a title on the line and you're teasing dissension, a turn, whatever, right? But, and somehow he's a heel. Okay, if Don Callis was a face and he's all about honor and that kind of shit, then okay, fine, I can buy that logic. But I do not buy this logic at all. It makes no sense as a heel manager who's supposedly looking out for his clients to make him money.
Well, Don Callis said, in his promos that, iron sharpens iron. What better way to find competition than within themselves? That's his explanation. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying that it's a good explanation, but that's how they explain it. So,
Sure.
But what I was interested in, based on the thoughts of he needs to slow down, he needs to learn the style, he needs to pace himself, right? After the match, who came out to confront him?
Who, bro? Who?
Brian Danielson.
Oh boy. Oh, they're fighting at Dynasty, right?
Yeah. So Brian Danielson came out at the end of Dynamite to confront and look Will Ospreay in the eye. I am hopeful. Because here's the thing, right? We all love Brian Danielson. We know what he can do.
Sure.
Recently, I personally was like, man, is Danielson kind of getting sucked into this whole doing everything that AEW people does, and then end up, he becomes like a guy faded to the background, right?
Yes.
That was my worry. But if he was to fight Brian Danielson, to me, right, it's good for Will Ospreay because Brian Danielson still knows how to slow things down, still knows how to play up to the audience, be about the character.
Yeah.
I don't think he will follow the tempo of Will Ospreay. He will force Will Ospreay to slow down to his level. That's my hope.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, right, like, we all respect, Brian Danielson. We know he's on his retirement tour as well.
Yep.
So yeah, he's going to try to give Will Ospreay that rub, that sort of like the match, right? So I just hope, okay, you know what I hope that in the following weeks, they don't have too much interaction. They don't need to. So now you have the match, build a story around it, like why they fighting, blah, blah, blah. And yeah.
Yeah, so the biggest criticism was like, why was this match suddenly announced, right?
Yeah.
What's the reason behind? What's the story? What's the build?
Sell tickets lah, what?
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, you want to put it out of the way straight away because apparently the challenge was laid down on Collision today, and he accepted it. So I hope they're gonna tell the story of why they are fighting, what is the reason, and I hope that Will Ospreay steps up to the plate and become that number one marquee top star that they're trying to make him to be that guy, right?
Yeah, the next Kenny Omega lah.
The next Kenny Omega. So I am invested in wanting Will Ospreay to succeed. We all know his strengths, but we also know his tendencies, and I hope that he can overcome them.
Yeah, and not get peer pressure into leaning straight into his tendencies, which we all have seen happen over and over again in this company lah.
I've come to accept that in AEW this is the style that they want. Like they wrestlers want to do that 5-star matches.
Yeah.
They want to go all out, balls to the wall. They might not have some storytelling. Somebody kena kick, fall down straight away, keep up and do another kick. I have learn to train my mind to like, okay, if I'm going to watch AEW, this is what I should expect.
Right.
I'm not going to get surprised or disappointed if that's the case. But what is the thing that would want to keep a fan like me to watch is that I can invest in the characters. Like for me, right, I watch everything so Strickland does these days. His promos, whatever he does. Because, okay, this guy, he knows his character. I can get invested. But I do not want like a John Moxley. Right now, I don't care what John Moxley does. I don't understand it. I don't see any character development. And that's on him. He didn't make me invest in him as a character. So, unfortunately, yeah.
Well, will the new logo and the new quote-unquote era, the new pay-per-view as well, will it bring, new eyeballs to AEW, we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the WWE right now. And of course, lots of things happening. We got The Rock this past SmackDown. I haven't watched it, but I saw the clips already. They are so fast with the clips, it's ridiculous, right? And they know,
full segments of main event on SmackDown on the YouTube channel. That's amazing, bro.
That's how they get the eyeballs. It's very clever of them. So, okay, you have the tag team match. It was accepted, right? I mean, they had lines. They threw barbs at each other. The Rock has his, like, a new intro where the lights go out and then the electricity. It looks pretty badass.
People say he can't get over Black Adam. That's why he still need to have the Thunderbolt.
Okay, the one thing I will have to say, right? Does his promo style feel outdated?
No, it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
I realized something that has been throwing me off about The Rock's promos recently, bro. Do you realize something?
What?
He keeps repeating himself.
He does. He called the emoji, walking emoji,
clown emoji.
I'm like, you say it once, fine. You say it twice, okay. He says it several times. I'm like, oh,
it's almost bro.
He forgot. Or
he's still getting used to that live promo element.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's being scripted. Of course, Brian Gowitz has given him scripts and stuff, but it's like, is he nervous or is he rusty, or why is he not a one take guy anymore? I mean, he does one take, but it's like when he tries to jog his memory, he will start repeating.
I think that's what it is. And also his cadence, he has a very specific cadence, right? And to me, that cadence doesn't fit in this era. This is the era of I just drop hot takes,
Yeah, it's like more realistic promos, like a guy talking to each other. He is still performing.
Yes. And that's why, when you look at LA Knight, for example, right? Actually, LA Knight is doing The Rock better than The Rock right now. Because LA Knight, somehow, he does still have the electricity, but with The Rock, because he's trying to be serious also. That's the other thing. Like, when he used to do his promo style, he was cutting people down. He was a funny guy, right? He was a funny bad guy. Now he's trying to be intense. And I feel like that's why it feels a bit weird. And that's the whole thing of, he hasn't done this for many, many years. He's probably just trying to get back into it too.
Yeah. You know what? I think Najwan, shout out to you, Najwan, on our Discord. He sent a link of The Rock's recent entrance of SmackDown, but with the Hollywood Rock theme song.
Yeah.
Holy shit, bro. That was perfect, man.
I'm much better, huh?
Come on, man. Bring that back. Because you know why? If he were to bring that back and he slows down his delivery, his pacing, his gait, the way he walks, I think he will fit into the bloodline even better. Because right now, he's making it all about himself. And I know this could be by design, right?
Yeah, no, isn't that the point though? I feel like that is the way they're going, trying to tell the story of how he is outshining, overshadowing Roman Reigns. And that's why Roman Reigns will get pissed at him.
Yeah, my favorite line actually of all people, it came from Seth Rollins. Did you see what he said?
What, the midlife crisis line?
Yeah, he called him Mr. Midlife Crisis.
That was fun.
No, that's great, right? Like I want the wrestlers to call them each other on their bullshit, right?
Yep.
And that helps fill in the holes that people might not realize. So when my thing that I was afraid of, right, if it was Cody and The Rock on a one-on-one confrontation in the ring, The Rock might smoke him verbally to the point that people start cheering The Rock over Cody Rhodes. Yeah. But I think Cody Rhodes having that Seth Rollins element where he's the guy that will shit on The Rock and Cody Rhodes remaining calm. It's great. It's great for his character. He's answering and acting in a way that makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
I do not want everyone suddenly to drop their character and suddenly call each other out on nicknames just for the sake of matching up to The Rock. That's not a point.
And then, of course, like you mentioned earlier, the whole thing about The Rock repeating his lines over and over again, it did feel a little bit weird. That being said, though, as a whole, they're obviously dragging this out. Like, literally, on AEW, it would be like, okay, you challenge, I challenge, except, boom, done in one segment. This one, it's like, okay.
They spread it out.
They spread it out over how many weeks? I'm not comparing. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but you can tell, the philosophies of both companies, right?
Yeah. And also, there is a lot of story continuity.
Yeah.
Like certain things that was mentioned previously wasn't completely forgotten and dropped.
Yeah.
Right. The whole point of this past SmackDown segment was Cody gave him a receipt back, right?
Yeah,
He
the
was
slap.
slapped back. He
Yeah.
mentioned The Rock mentioned Dustin Rhodes say that, your sibling's 20 years older.
Yeah.
That makes you a mistake. Like these are the kind of buffs that, oh, come on,
Oh,
that's
hey.
cool.
Why you play family? Why you play
Yeah.
father?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I got a question though. Did The Rock go overtime again, forcing them to get off air? Do you see what happened, right?
I saw the camera crew sort of, because he was trying to, I don't know if he was trying to remember his lines or whatever, and it's like, okay, I feel like WWE are usually very good at keeping time.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all on The Rock.
Yeah, because The Rock don't care.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care. He doesn't have to care, right? And it's funny because like we just criticize AEW about going overtime with the whole Sting thing, but that one's a different thing altogether, I feel.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, The Rock has openly said it publicly. Like, if your shit is good, they can't stop you from going overtime. He has said it. So I think he's just doing things on his own terms. He knows that whatever he's doing, he's bringing eyes back to the business. We have seen it ourselves. This podcast has been getting more views recently, and I tell you, we're crediting it to The Rock. I'm not saying that The Rock's the reason, but I really feel wrestling has gotten cool again because The Rock's back in it. He's invested.
Yeah.
He's doing something new. So that's great.
And okay, let's not also forget, right, the supporting cast. I mean, we talk about The Rock, Seth, and Cody, right? Let's
Roman.
not forget Roman. Like, sort of the little looks that he gives. Paul Heyman, his act, like, he very deservingly is going into the Hall of Fame as well. Interesting, huh? It's this upcoming weekend. I mean, this upcoming WrestleMania as well. Like, oh, okay. Are we signaling the breakup or something, big happening as well? And then you got, Solo, very quiet in the corner. You got
Jimmy in his own
Uso.
world.
Yeah. No, like all these things in the background, you can see all the different characters playing out. You got to give them props that, they're all playing their role perfectly. They all know their role and they are shutting their mouth.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. Like, the only way this works is everyone has a fully fleshed out character and is acting and reacting to interactions and moments in the wrestling ring that makes sense to their character. That's why you get invested, right?
Yeah, it's high drama, right? Like we talk about quote unquote cinematic. Yes, it is because everyone is in there playing the role that they're supposed to play. And so when whatever happens, when The Rock turns or when The Rock takes over the bloodline, they were like, oh yeah, remember those looks that, Roman was giving The Rock because we song him because he was taking all of his shine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. There is continuity. So you got to show him some love for that.
Random question, bro. Have you watched the recent Dune that just came out?
No, I haven't. I haven't even watched Dune 1.
Okay,
It's too much of a commitment, bro. Like, I know the series. I used to play the game. Anybody who's a gamer, you remember the
really? There's a
1990, the RTS game. Before the 2000 remake, I played the original. Wow, that was so good. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't have the time to watch a 3-hour movie, bro.
No. Okay, the reason why I say it is because apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dune was actually the inspiration for Star Wars and a lot of the science fiction, Star Trek and all that.
Yes. So this like space epic drama, space sci-fi drama,
Yeah, but one thing about Dune that I didn't realize until I actually watched it was they actually incorporate a lot of religious elements about a messiah that's gonna save them, the prophecy, blah blah blah. And I was thinking to myself, like, wow, like I think WWE has learned the art of what hooks the people is by taking a lot of things that happens in real life, whether it's religious dogma, whether it's political, social, whatever it is, reflecting it, putting a mirror of society into wrestling storyline. That's why it's working. That's why, like right now, things are working because a lot of real life elements are being put into WWE, whether it's the whole power struggle within The Rock, TKO, Triple H, whether it's the whole real life family of the bloodline. You know what I mean?
I think WWE or sports entertainment, pro wrestling is at its best when it is a reflection of society. The last time that truly happened was when? The Attitude Era, right?
Exactly.
It was that time where there was rebellion. People were like, "Oh, we don't like our boss," and that's why Stone Cold became the guy.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I was just randomly watching reactions from around the wrestling YouTube sphere, whether it was Busted Open Radio, whether it was 81 weeks,
83.
83 weeks. Eric Bischoff and Conrad, and Eric Bischoff's analysis of the recent segments with The Rock has been incredible. Like, you can see, right, Eric Bischoff, like, his eyes are sparkling talking about these segments. You know why? Because he says that this was the reason why people were so invested watching Attitude Era stuff, WCW, NWO, because there was a lot of real life elements. They are very layered with their storytelling. And coming from a guy like Eric, who has been quite critical about, WWE, AEW, and it's not doing well, it's like, okay, if the old timers, people like Kevin Nash, Eric Bischoff are praising what's happening right now.
Jim Cornette,
Jim Cornette had great things to say about the Rock segment, even talking about he said he loves looking at Paul Heyman's facials. He loves looking at Roman Reigns begging the Rock to acknowledge him. Storytelling, right? So to me, that's my gauge. If the old timers can see value in this, they're doing something right.
Yeah. I mean, what can we say, right? Like, love him or hate him, he's always going to be a draw. Talking about The Rock. And see, that's the thing. I feel like if The Rock just came back and he was in a promo against, I don't know, Drew McIntyre, for example, right? It would not be the same. This only works because he has everybody around him at that
because
level.
Of the story.
So what he's doing, he's just lending his name and his legacy to the main event guys.
Yeah. And one thing about talking about society, putting up a mirror to society, right? WWE is not just firing all cylinders with The Rock's storyline. Bro, they got a one-time Logan Paul freaking doing Prime Met sponsorship. Do you see that statement?
Yes, I did say that. I see that. KSI took an RKO. Bro, I'm telling you, it will be Logan Paul and KSI versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
I actually foresee Randy Orton with Kevin Owens in his corner versus, Logan Paul and KSI,
Okay, so you see a one-on-one, I see a tag team match. Something different, something fresh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they'll all be involved somehow.
Yeah. But, just a random thing. I don't know if you saw this. I saw it somewhere on the internet, but it's a very... okay, you know me, I am a sucker for history when it comes to pro wrestling, right? I'm sure you are as well. But let me see if I can pull it up right now. I have it on my phone somewhere I saved. But there is something that is going to happen at this year's WrestleMania that is something that has happened before. And no, I'm not talking about like we've gone there before, but this is something else. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it. In the meantime, anything else on SmackDown that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I can still talk about the Logan Paul segment. So, having him announce that, Prime is going to be the official mat sponsor of the WWE going forward. I thought it was only a matter of time. Like, everyone else has been doing it. Boxing rings has been having sponsors on the mat. UFC have been having sponsors on the mat. This is great, not just for Prime, but for WWE. Can you imagine the amount of money they will make opening up their mat for sponsorships in the future as well?
Right.
Yeah, so like it was just a smart move. And of course, it will take some getting used to. Like, shit, man. Like, having a sponsor feels so weird, so jarring for us wrestling fans. But that's the future, man. And TKO is gonna ride high and make so much money. I might actually start buying stocks, man. I think I might consider buying TKO stocks, bro.
What the hell, bro?
Ride it to the moon, bro. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I found it, but this WrestleMania, right? 15 years ago, there was a brother versus brother match. If you think about it, it was, I believe, Matt versus Jeff. 15 years before that, Brett versus Owen. WrestleMania 10.
Okay, where are you going with this, Mr. Yao?
Wow, what's happening this WrestleMania? Jay versus Jimmy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know if you saw that, but when I saw that stat, I was like, oh, that's actually cool. Like, every 15 years, they've had a brother versus brother match. Of course, real brothers, Kane versus Undertaker don't count because that one not real brothers. Real blood brothers. Okay,
but I mean, that's interesting. And of course, the whole tag team match, we've already established that this is actually a homage to the original WrestleMania main event, which was, funnily enough, a tag team all-star main event.
Yes. The one with, you're talking about Mr. T and Hogan versus
Mr.
Orndorff and Rowdy.
Yeah, correct. So like, and Triple H already has alluded to it and kind of said it at the start of that press conference in Las Vegas. So I love that they call back to history. Even the whole Cody Rhodes storyline also, to me, feels like a homage of the Yes movement from 10 years ago. 10 years before that with, WrestleMania 20. So, I do hope a lot of the things that happen in WrestleMania this year pays tribute somehow to the past.
Yes.
It's got to, right?
It does. Okay, talking about WWE, they are also firing on all cylinders in terms of their wrestling video game. So okay,
Yes.
it's been about a week, I guess, since the game came out. We got it on
For
early
us,
access
for us,
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
came out on Friday, last Friday, for the the quote unquote regular edition lah. So have you gotten to play it? What are your thoughts
Yes.
and feelings?
Okay, so I've played it. Unfortunately, I have not played exhibition where it's the ambulance match or tried the
Oh,
cascade
okay.
match or special guest referee. I straight away dive into general manager mode.
Oh,
Right.
of course you did. Yes.
Yeah. So me being a football manager fan, being a FIFA fan, I love career mode. I love
Mm-hmm.
being a manager, putting my roster together. So like you said, unfortunately no Nick Aldis, my favorite guy. But they did have Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff.
Bro, create him, bro. You can create him in the character creation suite.
Yeah, I would love to. I would
Or
love
download
to.
it from the community. I'm sure there's a community creation already.
Just saw like a MJF community creation
Oh
really
yeah,
done up in WWE.
bro. There will be Dragon Ball Z. There will be Spider Man. Every damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got to shout out to the fans, right? Okay, so I played probably a couple of seasons, and immediately I noticed a couple of differences, right?
Okay.
First of all, they do not let you choose wrestlers in a normal way when you're signing free agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So previously, like the previous WWE 2K23, if you want to sign like a free agent, you just go into it and then they will have like a random pool every few weeks of different wrestlers, and then you just pay the money and get it.
Yeah.
But now you got to really search and filter out, and there is like tiers that you have to pay.
You have to pay
get...
for talent scouts to look for the type of talent that you want. The higher level talent, the more you have to pay your talent scouts lah. Yeah,
exactly. So that like I think like there's certain amount of money you get like the so-called like the lower undercut stars, and then you will have like the established mid card, and then you have the main eventer. So
and what's interesting too, like they really added a lot onto last year's game, which was great, right? So every wrestler now also has like an XP meter, and the more they wrestle, the more they participate, blah blah blah, their XP will rise, and at certain levels they will unlock abilities which you can choose. So for example, and this one always annoyed the shit out of me. Certain wrestlers, right? They are like bruiser class, for example. Yep. And you can never change it in 2K23. While in 2K24, if you hit a certain level, they might have the ability to change class. So from a bruiser to a fighter, right? Yeah. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because, so-and-so, this is, for example, like a Ronda Rousey can be considered both a bruiser and a fighter, right?
Yeah. And you can kind of like train the wrestler, like you said, like pay amount of money to change class. And that saves you the trouble of having to buy or scout a wrestler just to meet that class.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Because within GM mode, it's best to put a bruiser versus a fighter, right? And if you want to, let's say, feud two fighters, yeah, you can, but their matches will always be shit. So you're like, no, now I can change one class to bruiser so that they can go ahead and have a feud. So I like that.
Yeah.
There's still the thing was when you finish a season, right? You only get to keep like 5. You can choose 5 to keep. It's like I'm losing the rest
all
of my
the effort
roster
that you build up.
And I wish that you could have kept more somehow. You can still draft them back because every year a draft will start again and you can draft them back. But it's a bit annoying lah. Like, really? 5 only?
Well, I agree that it is tough to see all the effort you put to a wrestler or a feud study end because you can't buy them.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about this year is that you can trade wrestlers. I mentioned it briefly on the last episode. So one thing I've always wanted, like every time another show picks a wrestler that I really, really like. Like, alamak, they took Roman Reigns from me, And only sometimes at the beginning of the season, suddenly you can do like a cheat code and get them to join or you can pick any roster, any member from the other roster to come to your show. But now, after every pay-per-view, you have the option to do a trade.
Yes.
So it's not just trading with your own wrestler and their wrestler. You can also give them money up front. I will pay you X amount of dollars to get that wrestler from your roster. So I think that really, really helps as well.
Correct. I will say this, and maybe this is just random thing that happened, but I'm like, every time I try to trade with Eric Bischoff, the son of a bitch won't give me what I want, even though the deal is always on his favor. Basket now, this fella.
Are you playing on normal or difficult mode? That's the
normal.
Okay.
I've executed trades with Adam Pearce, with Paul Heyman, but for whatever reason, Eric Bischoff is the fella who always doesn't want to give me my Alexa Bliss.
Okay, cool. Well, okay, what's your so-called how how do you set up your season? Do you play 4 managers,
Yep.
GMs fighting each other? Is that
Yep.
what you do?
So 4 managers, 1 human, the rest is all CPU lah. So it's it's fun like that.
And who's your main person?
My main person is Paul Heyman on SmackDown.
Nice.
Because I won the women's tag. So if you take WCW and if you take ECW, there's no women's championship, which sucks. Because historically they never had those titles.
So they only have the ECW and their mid card, is it?
Yes. ECW mid card and tag team. Same for WCW. Yeah.
So WCW would be the US title and then their world title.
Actually, I can't remember, but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like my biggest problem, I only stay at 2 people. So that means me and the CPU. Because, right, either they have, like, they take all the great wrestlers that I want.
Yeah.
If it's more than 2, like 4 or what, right? Or at the start of the season, you don't have a lot of money, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't afford to buy so many people. You gotta make do with what you have.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole point of the game, is the challenge, right? You start out with a little, and then by the last season, hopefully you have, built up the amount of money that you can spend lah. That's the whole point, right? Then you can have your like superstars and your legends and shit like that.
Yeah. Is there anything that you have deep dive into other than GMO recently that you've actually been enjoying?
I mean, I've been enjoying the game. And I think we've talked about it before. Like at this stage of my life, just playing exhibition mode on a whim is actually really fun. And we talked about it last week, the presentation and everything. They've taken it to another level. Do you feel like the presentation is just? I know you've been playing more the general manager mode. Like, I don't know if you actually play the matches out.
Yeah, I do some of them.
Okay, playing the matches are actually really, really fun. And trying to pull off things that are unique and different is also very fun. I'll tell you what I have put in a lot of time into is showcase mode, because I want to unlock all the crap, right?
Oh, okay. How has that been?
I find myself skipping the cutscenes. Not gonna lie, like I have no patience. Right? I'm like, okay, I know what happens. Like, I don't need Corey Graves to tell me long story, right?
Okay.
So it's a different vibe because, like, for example, the previous one, it was always centered around one character. So you had like John Cena explaining his psyche, where he was, his story. Who else? Rey Mysterio, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Here, in between, it's basically it's like a presentation. It's just Corey Graves explaining, like,
introducing the match.
And I love Corey Graves as a commentator, but it doesn't have that personal connection, that feel anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
But that being said, as a fan of WrestleMania, of wrestling, WWE as a whole, I enjoy reliving a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and I don't know if you guys do this as well, but every time it comes to WrestleMania season, I will start going back and watching some of the old WrestleManias just to have it in the background while I do other things.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
And this mode has made me want to do that even more. I mean,
a lot of like the familiarity comes back to you, the nostalgia and all that, right?
Which is also another that is like, I don't need Corey Graves to tell me what happened because I know what happened.
Yeah.
But like some of the more epic matches, like, okay, as much as I love Steamboat versus Macho Man, right?
Yeah.
It was a product of that generation. At that time. So I don't feel quite as connected to it as, let's say, HBK versus Kurt Angle, which is one of the, I know it might be a spoiler, but it's one of the matches in Showcase. Like playing that mode, I legit felt like, oh shit, this I remember how epic that match was, right? Yes, Brock Lesnar is a playable character in Showcase because you get to play Brock Lesnar.
Is it chronological though? Like, are they following the from WrestleMania 3 match to a 5 match, or is it like jumps and skips?
Okay, so they don't jump backwards. They do jump forwards only. But they do something interesting for the first, actually for like 80% of it. So the first one was Steamboat versus Macho.
Savage, right?
Yeah, Savage, right? And then the next one, you will play as the guy who lost, but he wins. You know what I mean?
Oh, so they're playing like multiple endings and
Like, so, okay, let me see if I can pull it up right now, just to refresh myself. Are
you pulling up a clip from the game or what?
No, from like the Showcase, just the matches. Like, I don't want to give away too much, but I can, like, as an example, show you. Okay, so they did this like for, okay, maybe it was 70%. So that was like, why did I think that they did it on purpose?
Oh, okay.
I think I might be drunk.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
Huh. I could have sworn that they okay, maybe it only happened like once or twice. I could have sworn that like, you would play Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage, and then the next one you would control Randy Savage.
Okay.
But it's not the case as I'm looking at I might have been drunk playing these games.
Wait, so you're saying that you can play either
No,
either
no, no,
guy
no, no.
or no?
No, I thought they did something cute, but I guess they didn't at all. Because okay, there's this one section, maybe that's why I thought it would like you played Hulk versus Randy, and then you would control the winner, which was Hulk Hogan, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the very next year, it was Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk. So now you control the other guy, Ultimate Warrior, and Hulk would lose.
Oh, okay. That's why it's a bit. So you're saying that again, you're playing different outcomes to the match.
No. You're playing exactly how it plays out. It's just that I thought that okay. So for example, Bret Hart versus Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Bret Hart wins, right?
Yeah.
And then the next match is Steve Austin versus The Rock. The guy who lost in the previous match that you played is the guy that wins in the next match. Play as next.
Okay, so they're doing like a pattern there, lah.
Yeah, but apparently this pattern doesn't really hold up now that I looked. I don't know why I felt like it was a thing, but it's not a thing. Never mind, forget the past 1 minute. I apologize for wasting your time.
You can cut that out, bro. It's fine. No,
Yeah.
I get it. I think the whole point is for you to relive your memories playing showcase mode as well as it. I mean, not everyone is a long time fan who knows everything about history. This could be a way to learn about WWE's history as a casual.
Sure, it is. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, it's interesting that you start off with Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage because we all know, and like wrestling fans know that as a classic, but non-wrestling fans wouldn't think of that as a classic, right?
Yeah.
Non-wrestling fans would be like, yeah, Hogan, Andre, that should have been the first match. So, it is what it is.
Well, I am curious I'll probably try the next mode. I'll probably try is showcase mode followed by My Rise because I've heard some good reviews about My Rise, especially. I think there was one the storyline about the Roman Reigns storyline. I heard that was pretty good.
The tribal landlord, bro. I saw the clips. It is like what? Okay. One more thing I will say about showcase modes, right? Is that it can get a bit like it's like side quests where you have to do shit.
Yeah, repetitive in a way.
Yeah, repetitive and annoying if you don't get it done in the first try through. So you have to redo it. So it doesn't reset you to the last objective. You have to do the whole match again. So if somehow the computer catches you in a submission and beats you, you're shit, now I have to redo everything.
This is why I've never completed showcase mode in the last 2 games.
Yes.
I've never finished it.
Yeah, so if that's annoying to you, and it is annoying to me, like I've had to replay entire matches. And it's like, it's so stupid because it's like, it's like, okay, you have to hit your signature on a person, right? And then like, it didn't follow the chronology of the original match. So you have to like redo a thing again. And you have to build your meter up again just to fulfill these objectives. I'm like, oh God, just let me finish the match.
I tell you, if I were to take a 1 month leave from my work, then I think I have the patience to actually sit through this entire mode. If not, I don't think I'll probably finish it by the time next year arrives as well.
To be fair, I managed to, in the course of a few afternoons, get to the last match. I haven't played the last match, and I don't want to spoil what the last match is, but there's one like bonus match at the end.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Later you just text me what's this match. So
no need lah. You go enjoy yourself lah.
Okay, wait. I will enjoy, and of course, Mr. You're enjoying. But will our listeners be able to enjoy this game?
Well, I mean, as we head towards WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, anything could happen. Whether it is you're hanging out on our Discord and maybe you're one of our Patreons as well, anything could happen. You could be picking up for yourself a copy of the game, just like that. Like, without having to spend the money, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, if, you feel like, alamak, this month tight lah, fasting month lah, need to prepare for Hari Raya. Maybe I cannot spend $100 on this WWE 2K. Do not worry, do not fret. Your podcast boys are here.
Yes.
All we ask is just to keep supporting us, keep liking the page, keep being part of our Discord, join us on Patreon.
Yep.
You never know what happens, huh?
Absolutely. All right. Look, at the end of the day, the game is so feature packed. People always say, okay, is it worth the money? I think especially this season or this year, it is definitely worth it.
It
Like,
will last the whole year, lah. Essentially, you can
bro,
still
it
play
will technically it will last years after lah. Universe mode itself is already like, you can do whatever you want. There's that whole sandbox thing, right?
Yeah. And I heard that you actually voice overs these days. Like there's people
Yes.
talking, so you don't have to just read text for the rest of your subs. Going
I,
forward.
I just hope that it's not like, we talked about it before. Like 1 year they had Edge do a voiceover from the toilet or something.
Oh dear God.
It was damn bad with no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, with WrestleMania around the corner, I do not know, Mr. Yang. I mean, are we still up for doing a thing, in terms of playing the game, play through, or with whoever, with our listeners?
That feels like a lot of work, bro. It feels like a lot of work, but we'll try to make it happen. Okay, before we get to our interview with CK Vin in just a bit, as we talk about SPW Stronghold, which is happening this upcoming Friday, there's one more thing we need to talk about, bro.
Of course, you were there. You were rapping Kick to the Gut as well this past
That's
weekend.
right. At Grapplemax's Battle at the Barracks. So Southern Depot, just a quick context thing, right? They just launched. It's like, Timber, that sort of a vibe, right?
Yeah.
They got live band set up, they got food, drinks. It's like a weekend hangout lah, in Gilman Barracks. It's quite deep in the Gilman Barracks, actually. So I was like, okay. It's a new place. So that what they're doing is to launch, they're doing a lot of these fringe activities to get people excited and involved, right?
I see.
And one of the fringe activities is they, engage Grapplemax to do a show lah.
Awesome. Okay, so you're telling me that they actually had a show in a establishment, like a
Yes.
live venue establishment.
Exactly. So unfortunately, I missed this because I went there at 8 o'clock. It was supposed to be at 8:30, the start time. But what they did was some of the Grapplemax bad guys, the heels, they actually came out and chocho and disturbed and threatened the band.
Ooh.
Yeah, in front of all the patrons,
I see, okay.
to be, like turned away and beaten down by the good guys. So I missed that, whole interaction. I thought that would have been quite funny, actually, to see all these like guys who are just, eating, drinking, and then all of a sudden there's a fight break out. What's going on, man?
Yeah. I mean, of course, I was very curious because I wasn't able to attend. We're doing double duties. I'm going to cover SPW this week, and you covered Grapplemax, right? But I saw the Southern Depot's Instagram that apparently some of the Grapplemax wrestlers were riding pillion on some bikers, bro. It was like an Undertaker convention happening, bro. What's up with that?
Also, they have this area at the back where they display the bikes. Like, I'm not too clear on exactly what happened, but I guess as part of the promo, they came in on the bikes. So that was pretty cool. Must have been a cool visual.
Okay. So, before we jump into the card, we all know, as we've said, on our Patreon, we are doing this thing this season, where we are doing the Singapore Wrestler Top 20 #SW20, and we are ranking our local wrestlers' performances during the match.
Yes.
So I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on everyone's performances and also your review that's going to be on our Patreon soon.
That's correct, yes, for each of the wrestlers and their quote-unquote star rating, right? You put me on the spot, bro. I'm not a writer. I just speak from the heart. That's what I do.
Okay.
But, all right, so let's talk about the show itself, right? And just to give you a context of, like, the vibe. Here's the thing. Because the venue is, like, the event space is, like, a nice... It's closed off to the makan area. So, like, the people who are eating can't go and just peer over. Like, you still have to have a ticket to go inside the room, right?
Yep.
Think of this big corporate space. Unfortunately, and I was speaking to Greg about it, I'm like, if they could dirty up the space a bit, but they can't. If they could, it would have been like a Raw Underground vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Okay.
it's like a nice... clean corporate space, like you go there and do like some talk or some like seminar,
I see. Okay.
But I was like, okay. So they had, and it's a throwback to the old Grapplemax style of no ropes, no turnbuckle, nothing like that, right? So they didn't put up the ring, they had the mat, but there was a little like platform as well. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, there's a platform. People can jump off the platform. And, people did jump off the platform.
Okay.
I wouldn't say the platform was very high. Like, I don't know, maybe hip height. So it's not like top turnbuckle height, for sure. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, but, if the wrestlers are athletic, they might even be able to do a shooting star press off that.
Okay, let's not get too crazy.
Right?
Let's not get too crazy here.
Okay.
Let me just preface everything by saying this basically turned out to be the Showtime Inc. show.
Oh, okay.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, okay, what happens is you have your intro. Joseph is out there with eyeliner on now. Okay, I don't recall. Maybe I just didn't notice, but is this a new thing where he puts on eyeliner?
No, he didn't wear eyeliner in the previous show.
Okay. So I was like, bro is entering his My Chemical Romance phase. What's going on? Emo phase, emo rocker phase. So he was rocking.
Was it something we said from the previous show? So he was like, time to level up.
Yeah, maybe it's like a new wrinkle in his appearance, whatever it is, right? So yeah, he got the eyeliner. I was like, okay. So he's playing host lah. So, Sean Rick wasn't there. So he's the guy who's rah-rahing the crowd, that kind of thing. And Showtime Inc. interrupt. So you got Sean P. Diddy, you got Prabhu, you got Julian. They come out, they disturb him, they push him around, just to set the tone. And then the faces come out.
Okay, so who is comprising these faces?
The Nathaniel, Ban.
Okay.
And oh my God, why have I forgot? Hang on. Nathaniel, Ban, and was it Christian? Who came out?
Was Christian there? Was Wilson there?
Yeah. No, Wilson was not there. So yes. So the good guys came out. Yes. So Ban, Christian, and Nathaniel came out to like protect Joseph. They got into a back and forth on the mic. So you had Sean, basically taking over the show lah, as it were. Sean P. Diddy, that is. Oh no, sorry, it's the other Sean who came out. Sorry, not Christian. Sean, as in Aussie Sean.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
that's my apologies.
The baby faces.
Yeah. So it's basically like three baby faces, three heels jaw jacking at each other lah. And
was this a setup for some main event?
Yes, it was. Here's the thing. I had not seen Nathaniel before, so this was my first time.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by the babyface fire. There's this like we talk about like when you promo, right? There's a natural fire to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. Like I really enjoyed that setup, as in like if you've never seen this Nathaniel fella before, now you got a feeling of who the hell he is.
I see.
Like he's just like a fired up baby face, and I like that energy, right? So the stipulations. So Nathaniel is like, okay, you all always come out, disturb, blah 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 blah. Here are the stipulations. The first match is Julian versus Nathaniel, right? Mm-hmm. If Julian wins, the main event will be no holds barred. If Nathaniel wins, Showtime Inc. is banned from ringside or mat side during the main event. Wait. Does this sound familiar to you?
Did they just redid the SmackDown challenge?
Yes.
For WrestleMania?
Yes. I was like, okay, I've heard this before, but whatever, like...
Yeah, it's funny. It's fun.
And this show has been described as a sort of like half canon show, like because it is not part of their like home base show. They can try some different stuff and be a little bit sillier, though they're still all in their quote unquote characters lah.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, so it is canon for us, right? We do count these matches as part of our SW20, right?
Yes. And for certain people, that should be, a good thing lah. When it comes to, averages. So, okay, there you go. There you have your stipulations, right? Immediately leading up to Julian versus Nathaniel, first match. It was funny. Everyone was out there jaw-jacking already. Then they all go back again. And then they to come out again to make their entrance, but that's fine. Whatever lah. Once again, I really enjoyed Nathaniel's intensity. I thought that Julian... I've said this before as well. Like, he's a really good heel.
Yeah.
There's playing the role and there's being the role. And I feel like the entire Showtime Inc. group, they have that sort of, I don't know who's been coaching them or whatever it is, but they feel like they are just dicks.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they are. It feels like watching them, their mannerisms, just the way they carry themselves. What? They're assholes, huh?
Yeah. I think the litmus test for Showtime Inc., right, is how can they piss off people who have never watched wrestling coming to a Grapplemax show for the first time? Because the ones who watch regularly, we know who they are, what they're all about. We can enjoy them, their humor for what it is. But can they legitimately piss off like somebody who just started watching like, this guy's damn asshole lah. Can they do that? That's the trick.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, and it's not like they do it in obvious ways. Yes, they do heel tactics, right? But like I'm saying, like I try to watch it in a way where it's like, okay, what if I'm like a guy just coming off the street, right? You can tell from like just the way they carry themselves, who's babyface, who's heel, and I really appreciated that. Look, I know that Nathaniel is new, so this was a very basic match. Right?
Yeah.
Simple moves. There's no turnbuckles, no ropes, that kind of thing. I find Nat to be a fella with a lot of potential. This is what I wrote down. So the match ended with Sean P. Diddy and a flying t-shirt distraction, I like to call it, because he throws the t-shirt at the ref, right? So Sufyan was like, trying to deal with the t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Julian hits the low blow, running kick to the back of the head for the victory, which means the main event will be no holds barred.
I see. Okay. Quick question. We might have forgotten another member of Shota Inc. Was their intern there or not? Kelvin.
So Kel is in the main event, which we'll talk about. Actually, Showtime wasn't there. I think he had prior engagements.
Oh, so he had to finish his assignment, then he can come at night.
Yeah. But who are you talking about?
No, talking about Kelvin. Kelvin, the intern.
Oh, right. No,
Showtime.
he was there. He was there the whole time. I enjoyed the start of this, the whole event, as it were. And once again, I think, I know I've said this like a million times. I feel like I'm The Rock, but I really appreciate good heels because good heels make the babyface's job easier because you want to see the bad guy get his ass kicked.
Yeah. I mean, we have to give credit to great heels. So Shota Inc. has proven themselves.
So I tend, and and maybe it's just a biased me thing, right? I've always liked heels growing up. I always loved Macho Man over Hulk Hogan. I love the $1 Million Man as a heel.
I'm curious to hear like your actual rating for Nathaniel's performances, and I do know we have Div Royalty on our Patreon as well, giving her rating. So curious to hear your ratings, Mr.
Well, do you want me to tell it to you right now, or should we leave it as a Patreon exclusive?
Well, out of respect for all our wrestlers, if you want to know your ratings, join us on Patreon.
Okay. I will say, though, that I rated the heels in this event quite high because I think that they carried it, even though, spoiler alert, but some of them did lose. In this case, like I said, Nathaniel, a lot of potential. There's only upwards to go for him. And he did take the loss here, so.
Awesome.
Just saying that. Okay, next match, Prabhu and Ming-Ray versus Ships Ahoy. So this is a...
Ships Ahoy.
Okay. Your friends, huh? This was this was an interesting match in that Ming-Ray is a face because she's cute, right? And she does the whole thing. And Prabhu obviously is a dastardly heel.
Yes.
I love he came out, he pointed at me and said, "Your podcast sucks." I'm like, you hurt my feeling, bro. But I appreciated that. I appreciate it.
Okay, great.
I like that very much. Nice chain wrestling to start off with the ladies. They did the whole, I get you, you get me, and then we pose in the middle of the ring like, oh, respect. That sequence lah, huh?
Yeah, for sure I do.
Yeah, Christian, of course, he had his high flying moves. He got the flying head scissors and stuff like that. I will say, Prabhu is showing a lot more malice, a lot more intensity in what he does.
So he has been taking advice from people in general, huh?
Wow, there was this one moment where he lands a clubbing blow. I was like, ooh, right? And then he looked at me. He's like, I've been listening. So I'm like, okay. The call out. Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely has shown in this event. He showed a lot more intensity.
And that's what we want, right? I think that is what's missing from him in his arsenal.
Yeah.
For him to be taken as a top heel. And he's almost there, bro. He's almost there,
right? There was a lot of heat during the match when Prabhu was beating up Sarah. Because, I mean,
come on.
Okay, I felt it a bit weird when you had Christian beating up Ming-Ray. Because it was like, it's hard to cheer the face who is a good guy. I mean, the guy beating up a girl. Even though the girl is technically sort of heel, but she's also cute. And I'm like, but it's like a bopian situation,
Yeah, you got to make it work, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that was Christian healing it up when he was beating up on Ming-Ray, or he was still trying to be a babyface?
He was still babyface. It's like, that's my opponent and I have to try to defeat my opponent.
Okay, so
it's
that's
just that. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Even though maybe Ming-Ray might have come into this match as an established babyface, if she were to show some sort of menace, using her size to beat up on Christian, then you can still kind of follow that storyline.
See, that's the thing, right? Like with Ming-Ray too, like she's cute, she does the the thing, and she did do some heel moves, but she's still cute. And that's the cute thing. You know what I mean? So it's
okay,
not...
Mr. Yang, we know you think that she's cute. Got it.
No, I'm just saying, right? Like, it's an issue of circumstance. They didn't have an actual heel lady to be in that team, and therefore she had to fill in that spot.
Did this affect your rating of her? in her performance?
No. I mean, I tried to judge it based on her performance in the situation that she was given.
I
right?
see. Okay.
But ultimately, okay, so you got the whole so you can imagine like, oh, Sarah's getting beat down, hot tag, boom, 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 lots of flying offense off the platform, not the top row of the platform. I enjoyed it. The win came a bit out of the blue. It was one of those moments where like everyone was on the mat, and then suddenly Mingwei picks up Sarah, does a spine buster 1, 2, 3 stack. So I was a bit like, whoa, like there's too much going on. Talking about too much going on.
The match didn't build to the ending. Is that what you're trying to say?
I wouldn't say it didn't build. I just think that it was a bit, because it was, like I said, it's a tag team match, but everyone was in the ring at the same time.
I see.
That's when the finish happened.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit, well, I'm looking at Christian and Prabhu, all of a sudden, spine buster happens, boom, 1, 2, 3. I was like, oh, okay. I was a bit like taken by surprise lah.
Yeah, I did see the crowd cheer when like I think when Prabhu was trying to carry, Prabhu got slapped 3 times or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
Sarah.
we were like, one more time. So they gave the crowd what they wanted lah. So I appreciated that.
Curious question. What was the crowd demographics like? Was there a lot of new people watching, like people who've never seen Grapplemax, or is it like a kind of a familiar crowd? Because it is a new location.
Yeah, I think it is a bit familiar crowd, some friends and family, that kind of thing. Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. Like, how would I know if they're new or not? I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I will say this though too. Like, a lot of the regulars might not have had the time to be there because it was something extra, right? It's not in their regular place. It's a new location. Taylor Swift last concert was happening. So I don't know. Maybe they were busy on that Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Grapplemax and Taylor Swift, I would still go for Grapplemax. I'm just saying.
Oh, what? Oh, what are you trying to start? Anyway, it was a fun tag team match with a lot of fun spots. But the ending just came a little bit. I don't want to say premature because that sounds so wrong. Sudden for me, okay? Sudden.
Yeah. How many match cut is this? I'm
3.
assuming it's a short match. Oh, yeah, so it's 3.
A short event, right? So 3 matches. The main event, here we go. Showtime Inc., comprising of Sean P. Diddy and Kelvin.
Oh, okay.
Versus Ban Sachek and Sean Pang.
Ban Sacha.
Sachak, sorry.
Wait, Ban Sacha and
Sean.
Okay,
as in Aussie Sean. So this is a makeshift team. This is not an actual team, right?
Okay.
So that was that was like okay. I guess YC must be busy or whatever lah. Okay,
Still married, just got married, bro. Remember that.
There you go, honeymoon. The Sean slapped the shit out of each other, which was quite funny.
Okay, Sean v Sean.
Yeah. The good Sean versus bad Sean, right? We always talk about how first appearances count, like initial appearances.
Okay.
Kelvin looks great. Dude is jacked.
Oh yeah, he's getting in shape, man.
No, he's not getting in shape. He looks ripped. Like can see 6-pack sort of like. And when he took off his shirt, I was like, okay. He immediately stands out.
This is intern Kelvin, right?
Yes, intern Kelvin.
Yeah.
So
okay. There you go, right?
Has he always been wearing a shirt? That's my question.
Maybe he hasn't been taking off his shirt enough.
Yeah. So the second he did, I was like, whoa, what the hell? And hey, it is what it is, right? But appearances do matter in these cases. Let's see. All right, I enjoy, and I've talked about this to death, but I think all of them have their characters down pat. It is very easy to dislike them because they act like assholes. Kelvin is an interesting one because he's still very young, right? But you can see the glimpses of the cockiness. It's almost as if he is like the Padawan. Like, you know how...
the evil Padawan.
Yeah, like every Sith Lord has a trainee, right? So like him hanging around with Sean P. Diddy and Julian and Val and Prabhu too much, like he's slowly developing this cockiness or douchebagness.
Okay. So maybe he's not Dominic Mysterio level of heel heat yet.
No.
But who's the better heel, him or Nick Wayne?
Dude, he's a billion times better than Nick Wayne. Please, Nick Wayne has a expressionless face. Yeah. He's like
exactly.
Yeah. No. He's much better than that already.
Okay.
So there was some really really cool spots. Like there was also one thing that it was a logic failure to me because remember, because of the stipulations, Julian won the first match, right? This would have been no holds barred, right?
Yeah.
why are you tagging in a no holds barred match? Why bother even tagging? So the first half of the match, they were tagging.
I
So,
see.
and if there was somebody else in the audience yelling, say, why are you tagging? Like,
Why is it not just a free-for-all brawl?
yeah,
That's what you're saying.
no, that's exactly it, right? Okay, I get that if the faces want to be honorable and tag, that's fine. But the heels should have been just beating the piss out of that. Like, it should have been a free-for-all right from the beginning. But, that's the issue with putting a stipulation like this, right? So the chair comes into play. There was a chair brought in midway through. Once again, if this was no holds barred, shouldn't they have come out and used the chair immediately?
I see. Okay, wait. So did they like kind of fight around the ring? Did they like whip each other against the wall or something to show that it's like a free-for-all?
So, like I said, it only happened midway through the match. It didn't start off. And I get it from a perspective of you don't want this to descend into chaos straight away. Like, I understand that. But logically, it didn't make sense. Is what I'm saying.
I get you.
Right?
I think especially if you're a fan, a long-time fan who like, very particular about rules and breaking the rules and all that, might be like a logical leap, right?
Yeah. The rules are there so that when you break the rules, it means something. It's not that we want you to follow the rules. No, it's there so that, when heels cheat, you can boo them because they're being cheats.
Okay.
So you got...
Out of the four, bro, who impressed you the most? Who do you give the most ratings to?
Wow. Sean P. Diddy.
I know you're a fan of him. I know you love his work.
I have been very high on this guy for the longest time, both in terms of as a worker and as the heel that he is.
As a character.
Yeah, I would dare say that he exudes, quote unquote, I'm a bad guy without overdoing it. Yeah, okay. He is one of those guys, right? He can do heel comedic, but he can also very easily, it's subtle enough that he can be heel. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
He's very believable.
Yeah, he's not all the way the other side where, there's some heels that just overdo everything and it becomes comedy, right?
Yeah.
Like he can straddle that line, I feel very well. It's a subtle art. And,
I see, okay.
I will say this, even though he lost, I gave him one of the highest rating. I mean, he's the highest rating with another two people. There are two people with the same rating, but they are the winners.
I see. Okay, I mean, it's great. We've always noticed how natural he is as a heel, how great of a character he is. I honestly want to see him get some singles shine. I hope he, goes for the cruiserweight title. I hope he and Julian might be involved in the tag team title somehow because I think he needs to get that recognition because he's always been great at playing the big part of supporting character.
Yeah.
But imagine him going for a big title or like being highlighted in a feud.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, this did descend into a giant schmoz. So Julian comes out to help Showtiming, and then the other faces also come out. So Nathaniel from the first match also came out. So it became like a big, whoa, everything. It's one of those classic SmackDown finishers where everybody comes out, hits their big move. Spot, right?
Okay.
Ban did a rock bottom to somebody. To Sean. Because he's the dastardly heel, right? Off the platform onto the mat. I thought that was pretty cool. Sean, as in Aussie Sean, did the Blue Thunder Bomb to Sean P.D. on a chair.
Holy shit, okay.
I posted a video on our social media. The clips are there, you'll see it. So that was a really cool spot.
Okay.
And they took the win. The faces basically got the win. Even though the faces won, and so they do score extra points, on our rating system because they picked up the win. I feel like the heels made the faces here.
Okay. I would like to see your ratings, but I think overall, just kind of a tease to the audience. Who scored the highest? And I do not know whether you want to reveal who scored the lowest.
I don't think it's fair to say who lowest because
let's talk about who impressed you the most. And if people want to learn about the rest of the performances, they can join our Patreon as well.
I mean, I already gave it away. It's Sean P. Diddy.
Sean, and I think a couple of more people who kind of matched up to.
Okay, well, the other Sean and Ban, because they won, they were the faces here, and they definitely held their own. You know.
Yeah.
I ranked the intern pretty high as well, not the highest, but I definitely see a ton. So okay, two people really stood out to me as far as potential. Right, Nathaniel and Kelvin. Yeah, I like that. I like that Prabhu brought the intensity as well.
Yeah. Okay, this is so cool because we've been watching Grapplemax for the longest time.
Mm.
We know Grapplemax 1.0, which is like the original OG
Yeah.
gang, right? You
Yeah.
got your Remus, you got your DJ Cal, you got your the OGs as well. Lady Killer and all that.
Crypto Bro,
Crypto
Greg,
Bro,
Dave.
Dave. So that's to me that is 1.0, and then I think 2.0 are like people like Prabhu, people who are kind of really established a Christian. I would consider
Yeah.
him 2.0 and all that. And now we are seeing 3.0 right
Dude,
before our very eyes.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, right? And seeing 3.0 and knowing that 2.0, some of them still haven't gotten their shine yet. They are waiting to get their shine. It's actually really exciting.
Yeah. And also I think I want to give a shout out as well to the fact that, Grapplemax has, made it a mission of theirs. A mission of theirs to hashtag invest in women, right?
Yeah.
I've seen some of their, social media, their promotion talking about, they did an IWD workshop, and we were just talking about, do they have enough girls in the division? And then now suddenly, not just Sarah, but they have Ming Ray popping up, TJ, and I do hope that they build enough of depth in their female side that they literally can have a very fleshed out full roster. Maybe even a women's championship. So like, I think it's worth it, bro. It's worth it for them to invest in that.
Yeah, for sure. Slowly, slowly, at the end of the day, we go show by show. So yeah, I had fun. I think also it is what they call the house show vibe, right? If you've ever watched a WWE show before, because of Raw, because of like the PLE, whatever it is, they have certain things they need to do. Whereas in house shows, they can feel free to ad-lib a bit. And I feel like the ad-libbing here made it fun, made it more fun. If that makes sense.
So my question as well, it just came to my mind. Speaking of which, Ships Ahoy, did they say anything?
No, they didn't say anything on the mic or anything like that. I mean, Christian, he is such a nice guy, right? I don't even think it's a thing with him. It's just Sarah, but Sarah also was super nice.
Okay, he was nice to you, Nila.
Yeah, maybe if you were there, it might have been a different story, but yeah, it was. It's not really a thing.
Okay, I mean, I heard Grapplemax gonna have a next show coming up, Amplify, end of March.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for me to come back and see how they.
Bro, what are you gonna do? What, are you gonna get on the mic? You gonna cut a promo on somebody?
No lah, bro. I fasting lah, that man. I will just go there and quietly, enjoy the show as any other fan.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? Like, if they do more of these, like, quote unquote, spin-off shows, I think it could be something very interesting. I don't know, maybe it's just a nostalgia thing, but the whole mat thing really, I don't know if elevated is the word, but it made it special.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's a great strategy from Grapplemax to kind of bring the mat back here and there for certain fringe events, for festivals, and then get people curious about the brand. And then, hey, you want to see more wrestling? Go and see our normal shows. Yeah.
It's just like I said, if the event space was grungier, I think the Raw Underground vibe would have been there. But it's too nice. It's so like, wow, it's like corporate this space.
Clean.
Too clean already. So.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, I'm happy to see, Grapplemax kind of like, spreading their wings, entering more communities, doing more collaborations. I wish I could have seen Settle Outside last year. I honestly hope they bring it back this year as well. So that could be another cool concept as well.
Yeah. Oh, before we wrap up this whole thing with Grapplemax too, can we give a shout out to Big Dave?
Ah, yes.
Who proposed right as like the event ended, right? Then they have a projector there. They showed the projector. So what happened? So apparently, during the show, I mean, not during the show, but, while the show was going on, Dave was where he was and proposing, and he posted about it.
He was proposing. Oh, no, not at the show lah. He was out with his girl. And
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it could have happened earlier, then he posted about it later, but the post came up during the show. Then I was like, oh shit, congrats, bro.
Awesome. Congratulations to him. We've seen wedding bells in the air in the wrestling world. We've seen YC recently getting married. Congrats to him. We've seen Dominic Mysterio getting married. Congrats to him.
Which is hilarious, by the way. He's there with Mommy.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So, love is in the air and wrestling's in a good place. I'm so happy, man, as a fan.
Absolutely. So, okay, there you go. That's Grapplemax once again. If you want to see the full breakdown of the our rankings and ratings, and Div Royalty was there as well. I think she's gonna. She already did, right? She sent in her ratings as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You can see the full breakdown, and of course, so much more content on our Patreon page. Hey, go check it out, and if you like what you see, consider being a Patreon member. Whatever tier that is comfortable with you, hey, we appreciate it.
If you haven't bought WWE 2K24, all the more reason to join us on our Patreon. Just saying.
Okay.
Okay.
In the meantime, though, hey, once again, we appreciate your company. By the way, we still have a certain individual we need to chat with, okay? Once again, SPW's Stronghold is happening this Friday. I'm not sure if there are tickets still available. Go and check their social media. Go and ask the statement. Send him a DM or whatever. Send the SPW Instagram page a DM to see if you still can get tickets.
We also have somebody who is not officially on the card, but he's definitely gonna make his presence felt. That's what he's been telling us anyway. So
I'm still wondering how he's going to react to us calling him a CB face all these months, and finally we get him on the podcast. I'm like, is he going to just cuss us out the whole time? I guess we'll find out. But here we go. This is our chat with CK Vin. And as promised, we have with us, gracing the podcast for the very first time, he is CK Vin. Welcome to the show, my man.
Hello, Bert and Ernie. This is CK Vin. This will be the most must-see podcast episode that you guys will ever have. I know your show has been going on for quite some time. It's okay, but today will be the greatest episode that you'll ever have.
Oh man,
I have a feeling this episode might go viral for many reasons that may or may not be positive, but we'll get to that in just a bit. Hang on, did you just refer to us as Bert and Ernie? Who is Bert and who's Ernie? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm very curious as well.
I think it's kind of obvious, right? If you just look at the faces, who is Bert and who is
Oh
Ernie.
yeah, actually,
Is it?
Right.
You do like
don't need me
Bert,
to
bro.
say.
Wait, what? Is it because I Chinese?
Yeah, like, then you got the fucking like rectangular face, bro. Then I got the
It's
circular
like
face.
probably like the Snip Avenue haircut, like the pretty $3. Then you just do with a little bit of the grass at the top.
Oh, there you go, Mr. Young.
Hey, Ernie. How are you, Ernie?
Okay, cool. But you know what? One thing I have to say right off the bat, I think we need to address the elephant in the room. I know Mr. Young and me, when we first saw you, we were like, this guy is a heel. He has that face. He has that face, Mr. Young. Would you like to care to explain?
Sure. You know what? If anything, we back up what we say, right? So the first time we saw you, CK Vin, I immediately threw it out there. Hey, this fella got a bit of a CB face, huh? Like very dislikable, very punchable, as it were. And I'm not the only one to have said this, but I might have been one of the first few to say it out loud in public, on a public platform. Which might I add is it something that you care about, CK? Or does it work?
Not, If you call me a CB face or whatever, right? It's probably because you're coming from a place of insecurity. I'm so much more good looking, so much more handsome. You're just jealous that someone looks like this, Probably gets all the eyes on TV, on the ring, when you look at me. It's superstar.
That is undeniable.
That is true.
The reason why Mr. Young does radio and not TV.
Hey, Basket, when did you become CK Vin's friend? Excuse me.
I am CK Vin's biggest fan, right? I keep talking about him all
I
the time.
like you already, Ernie.
Well, okay, I will give you credit for the ability to grow the facial hair. I have never been able to grow facial hair, so that's a real man right there. Okay.
Okay,
sorry, Foreign, go ahead.
Yeah, I got another question as well, because of course the first time I saw you, you were part of a tag team. If people recall, people who've been watching or following SPW for quite a while, but then you've been recently struck out on your own because people just drawn to your personality, and I must say, like you play the heel so well in SPW. So like, what do you liken that to? Have you always have this personality that I'm better than everyone, or like, how do you get that confidence from in the ring?
Why do you assume he's playing anything?
Yeah.
Hey. Well,
this is in fact the real me, When I look at the people around me, I just feel that there's so many times when they can't handle the truth. I just tell it straight to their face. So in SPW, this is the platform where I get to tell people what I don't like about them, what are their actual things that like they don't even know about themselves, They can't handle the truth.
Okay. So that means, it's not being a heel, it's just telling the truth. Isn't it so?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now I'm processing that thought.
Yeah, so in your eyes, there are a lot of delusional people around you. Well, let's dial it back a bit, and in just a bit, we will preview SPW Stronghold, which is happening this upcoming Friday. Very exciting card. But for you, interestingly enough, okay, let's go all the way back. With all our guests, we always like to go back to what was that germ? How did the wrestling bug bite you? Where did it start for you?
For me, it probably started when The Rock and Austin had their moments, when they played up their moments and their character and their feud, when it got all the eyes on WWE, And then like that's where we get all the infectious energy. I believe everyone who's been in SPW or in the wrestling industry, they probably know all the eyes that have been drawn because of their louder than character personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
true.
I see. What is it about The Rock and Austin that you have taken into your own character and like how you see wrestling?
There are so many times when, in actual fact, they are the ones who are calling other people's like jabronis or like even going up to the boss, to tell them like what's up, and then you don't even see that the boss is trying to fight because they are just bunch of punies, You don't even know whether they are able to handle the lay the smackdown on them. Yeah, they're all just a bunch of gundus, and you see the people who are in the ring. They are so
I-
much bigger. They are so much more smarter.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, of course, one of the things that have caught my attention as well is your mic work as well. You have no problem calling people out and shitting on them.
Yeah.
Was that something that when you first joined SPW and learned about, there's pro wrestling in Singapore, you were like, what, I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that just shits on people on the mic and in the ring.
Yeah, if you look around in the SPW roster, I mean, there are some people who are able to, deliver the statement, like our main heel this was the person that started all of this.
Statement.
Like
Yep.
he's the one who got a lot of us into wrestling in Singapore, and he has all the heel work that he's been able to deliver in the ring. I think so many of us are like inspired by his heel work, and then that's where we get our motivation and inspiration from.
I see.
How does one take that step? Like, it's one thing to be a fan of wrestling, but it's another thing to say, okay, I want to go and train, I want to start performing, I want to get out there and wrestle. How did that sort of step happen for you?
It's the most logical step because there are nowhere in the world will be able to tell the truth to anybody, and they just gotta deal with it. If you got any other things that you want to say, you gotta deliver in the ring as well to back up whatever you have said.
Right.
If not, probably you'll be just arrested on the streets. Like as you mentioned, like Kurt Tay, he has problems with everybody.
Yeah.
But you can't back it up.
So as a fan, you're like, you know what, this is absolutely something I want to try, I want to do, and I want to train. What age or what year did you start training actually?
I think it was around early 20s when I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it like about 2017? No, I think the first time I saw it was like 2018, 2019, right? Before the
Not bad.
pandemic.
You have done your research.
Yes. I recall. Okay, cool. So one other thing as well, you wrestle in a singlet, which I feel is very old school amateur wrestling style. Was there a reason behind it? Are you inspired by anyone in terms of your ring attire and how you kind of wrestle?
I mean, if you look at the whole SPW roster, a lot of them go into the ring probably like topless. I know some of them, they are trying to show their body, but actually, if you look at it, a lot of them probably don't even need the gym. Maybe they may look like they want to play pro wrestling, but there are still improvements that need to be made, as to whether they want to go topless. I mean, I can go topless, but I just don't feel that, it's people's honor to look at the way I am built.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So it's almost as if they don't deserve to see you in all your full glory. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. That's one way of looking at it. So, who inspires you in terms of like the current? Like, do you watch the current product? Who really inspires you as far as in ring and on the mic as well?
Inspiration wise, probably in wrestling capabilities would be Cesaro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Because he's pound for pound one of the strongest people in wrestling today. Yeah, I think in terms of that, a lot of times, even though a person may not look the biggest, but actually they are pretty strong. You know, when you see them in the ring, they do a lot of things that actually wow you. You get to see all the stunts that they do.
I
Yeah.
see. You
So
know what?
I'm going to put you on the spot. Sorry
Yeah.
for, but I'm going to put CKV on the spot. Who is pound for pound the strongest in SPW? Do you reckon?
Do I reckon?
Yeah, who do you think it is? The pound for pound the strongest.
That's quite an obvious answer, right? You're looking at him.
Okay,
Oh, there you go, buddy.
there you go. All right.
You know what? When you say Cesaro, right, I can see it now. I can see the influences of Cesaro in the way you wrestle because you do a very good it's not a gotch style, but you kind of do like a slam where you have wrap people around and then you kind of like gut wrench power bomb them or like kind of throw them around. So your wrestling style is almost like you have feats of strength that you showcase in between all the like technical wrestling that you do, yeah?
Mm.
Have you always
Done
been a
already.
sports type person? Like, did you train from young in a different sport, or was like pro wrestling the first thing you're like, that's all I'm doing?
I didn't play any sports. This came naturally, you know.
Oh, is
It
it?
just hit. I just one day I just hit the gym. All the muscles started growing up. They started building. I just ate my protein, all my calories. Then
Right.
this is what you got today.
Wow.
It's just too easy for CKV, man. It just
Yeah.
happened one day, bro. It's a natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay, wait. Then that leads me to my next question because as you're kind of like one of like the younger stars in SPW, might not be like at that level of the established guy yet, but like we've seen you making some waves. So right now you are kind of like tinkering around that SPW Singapore Championship scene. And for those who weren't aware, can you give us some context at what happened for Champions Never Yield 2 with regards to this contract that you recently won?
Yeah, so at SPW Champions Never Yield, I was in the gauntlet match to determine the next contender for the Singapore title. So I won that match, as you all know already, right? It's the natural conclusion to who could be the one that to be challenging the next, to be the next contender. Yeah. So when I spoke to Jem Calhella after I won the match, I told him that why not make things more interesting, you know? Instead of the usual one-on-one match where you get the contender versus the champion, why not make it like a cash in, you know, like a money in the bank opportunity where you can make things interesting, yeah? So you never
Okay.
know when I may strike, you know, I'm a patient man. Have you ever played poker before?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Yes,
For
of
sure.
course.
Yeah, so but probably you guys don't know because you all probably lost a lot during the Chinese New Year period. Yeah. So as you know from poker, right, you don't show your hand. You take your
Yes.
time, you be a patient man. Then once you know that you're ready to strike and then you show your hand and then you get the title. Yeah, that's how the way I
Okay.
look at it. And he agrees with me because he's a smart GM.
Very interesting because as we can see in the SPW Stronghold card, you're not on the card, but it seems like your presence is looming. I saw your social media video that you kind of had your phone call with Carl Hella, kind of
Yeah.
setting the stage. So should Big T and Black Arrow be worried? That's the question.
Yeah, they gotta have eyes at the back of their head, you know. They are you know their history, right? They have been in a tag team together before. They may go at it, you know, they may just have a friendly competition. But maybe I'll just let them have their moment, their big match, their 5-star match, you know. Because Big T has been yearning for the spotlight ever since he won the 24/7 title, you know. And then I will be just there taking the best seat in the house, watching. I may cash in at Stronghold, I may cash in at the next event. I'll just bide my time. I don't
I
have to
see.
tell anybody when I want to do it.
Can we see CKV actually pulling up a chair and sitting at ringside watching the match?
Ooh.
Yeah, if you're talking about the chair, I just got something to show you. So
Oh wow!
you look
We
at
have
this, right?
props. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
This is the
okay.
championship contract on the Straight Savage CKB's chair. So this will be the thing that I'll be watching on.
Okay, so CKV, you're gonna carry that chair around with you at all times, I see.
Yeah, of course.
I love it
Okay.
symbolically as well, having the contract on the chair. Also, I think that's a very nice touch.
Yeah, you're a very educated man when you look at it. You know, you agree with me, right? When
Thank
you
you,
see
thank you.
the chair,
Mhm.
right? Whenever the contract is on the chair, I can use it at any time. And then Next thing you know, yeah, I'll be the next Singapore champion.
New champion. Okay, so my question then is to you, right? I mean, some fans might not like the way that you are conducting yourself in this manner, with the chair, with the thread. Like, some fans want to see a one-on-one straight-up match. Bring honor to the Singapore championship, right? What do you have to say to fans like that?
To those fans who have been yearning for one-on-one matches, right?
Yeah.
Just look at their reaction whenever there's a one-on-one match. Whenever you see the match, and then you don't even get the fans on the wrestlers'
side, is it?
Yeah, correct. When you look at the match, right? So many times they're just sitting down there. Whoa, we count 2-2, then they drink one shot of beer, and then they're not even in the moment. When they look at the match, they just waiting for some guy to fly off the stage, like Black Arrow, how he does it.
Yeah,
I see. This seems to be like a commentary on the SPW fans. Do you consider the fans are just beer drinking, beer swilling, like uncles after work or what? What's going on?
beer drinking gundus. That's how I will.
Beer drinking gundus. All right, there you go.
Okay, you know what? I propose, CKV, every time you're in the ring cutting a promo, I just want you to call all the fans gundus. I think that's like the best catchphrase ever. You are a gundu. You're a gundu. Every one of you is a gundu. I love it.
Bro, knowing the SPW crowd, there will be a "We Are Gundus" chant after that. Confirm one.
Also. Okay, cool. So now we kind of understand your psyche, how you see the fans, how you see this match going. Let's quickly run through the card, because I want to know CK Vin's opinion on every single match that's happening this Friday.
And every single wrestler as well. So, okay, come, let's jump into it. The first match, we'll take a look at the Midnight Bastards. Okay, talk to us about the Midnight Bastards. Mason, actually representing the Midnight Bastards, will be facing off against CBK.
Yeah, so as you can see, right, if you follow the past match for the Midnight Bastards, they have already made their impression, just like how I made my impression during my debut, right? You have so many people who are actually hating on the Midnight Bastards, but that's because they are so much better than what the fans are seeing, They can't handle what the actual superstars are doing. When you look at Mason, he has all that potential, he has all that explosiveness in the ring. I think he has so much potential. He has that ceiling that he can go up to. Maybe you might see him as a champion at the end of the year. Together with RJ.
Awesome. I actually saw their promo. They I think they were at like some lorong, and they were asking, "Hey, you guys want to go club after this?" And I was like, "Wow, these are the kind of guys I don't mess with if I go to a disco, Thai disco. I don't want to mess with these kind of guys."
Disco, bro. Does your girlfriend know about that? Anyway, okay.
Hey, okay.
What about CBK? What are his chances against someone like Mason?
CBK, he's just a burger kid. He has so many. He has so many people on his side. Yeah, I can see his infectious energy. I can see why people get behind him. But if you look at the number of matches he has, the type of matches that he is in, they're all just multi-man matches. I don't know whether he can actually handle Mason one-on-one. I mean, if you look at it, even though he has BGJ at ringside, but it still comes down to what happens in the ring. But I can't determine for sure what happens outside and how it will influence the conclusion of the match.
I mean, CBK is very lovable. Mass wrestler, seems to connect, especially with the younger kids when I see in the SPW audience. Has anyone ever feel compelled to beat him up and take away his mask? Because I feel like that's a very easy, low-hanging fruit to do towards CBK,
Yeah. You're talking to the guy that has actually unmasked another wrestler before,
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Remember? Yeah. I deliver moments that people remember for a long time. But for CBK, I'll just let him have his chances. I mean, I've seen him under that mask. I don't think people want to see him unmasked.
There's a reason why he wear the mask.
Yeah, I mean, Mason is agreeing with me. He has been wearing a condom on his head.
Oh dear God. Okay. I think we should move on to the next match.
Yes, I think so. Okay, let's talk about Black Arrow. Okay, Black Arrow versus Big T. That's the big Singapore Championship match. And
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Who are you actually rooting for in this match, or who do you actually have your money on for this match?
Yeah. I'm kind of thirsty. I think I need to rehydrate myself.
Okay.
I'll go get some tea. Yeah.
Okay. Can.
He's going to get some tea.
this is the first time a wrestler just walked out of our
I know,
interview
right?
live.
Well, it's okay. You know, he's gone off to get some beverage. I think he should be back soon.
We might have to cut this in post production to see how long he lives.
5 hours later. Wait, hang on. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that we talked about Black Arrow versus Big T, right? I mean, that's the match he's going to be most interested in because, you know, it's the Singapore Championship on the line. He has that contract and he has made it a thing with GM Carl Heller that he can cash in anytime, like a Money in the Bank. Oh, there you go. There's the man himself. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So,
Yes.
to ask the question again, who do you have your eyes on, or who is your money on for this match if you're not going to cash in during this match?
Oh my god, I have so much tea that I want to spill on this match, you know.
Okay.
If you look at Big T, right? For the entire of the reign when he has his 24/7 title, he has been multi-man matches. Maybe he won some, maybe some fluke victories, but he's still been saying, "Oh, I didn't get the respect that I deserve." And then the next moment at the SPW Southeast Asia match in the triple threat, he didn't even bring out his title. Why? When he's a champion, he doesn't even bring out his title. How is he gonna represent the lineage of the title? And then that's why now he's coming for the SPW Singapore champion, right? Just because he has been in a tag team with Black Arrow before, probably they made some deal and then say, "Oh, can I get that opportunity at your Singapore title? I feel disrespected. I think let's give them a banger of a match," and then he'll end up losing anyway.
Oh dear God.
So you don't put too much stock in Big T's chances, lah. Like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you think Black Arrow is just gonna take it away, just win.
No, I think Big T has his merits. You know, you look at the size of him. Not many people will go head on toe to toe with him. Just looking at him, they'll probably be peeing in their pants when they see Big T. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think he deserves this title shot? Because it sounds like you don't think he deserves it.
I told GM, I say, go ahead, just make an interesting match for me to watch, you know. Make it interesting. See how I can enjoy the destruction that happens in the ring. And then maybe when Black Arrow finishes his match, I can just pick up the scraps.
Oh wow. Okay. What do you think of Black Arrow as the SPW champion? Do you respect him as a wrestler?
I definitely respect Black Arrow, you know. He has been in SPW for a very long time. He has his shining moments. He has his time in the singles division as a tag team wrestler. Yeah, he has so many moments, so much more things that he do inside the ring. He can do so much. He can fly. He can do so much power moves. Yeah, but every time you see him jump off the top rope, you probably first be afraid like, oh my god, is he gonna break a bone? He's gonna break his brain, you know?
Oh dear God. Okay.
I would also like to point out, this is a totally random observation, but because Big T has been involved in that whole 24/7 title thing, right? So would you say that he's used to being quote-unquote attacked from behind, cashed in on, so maybe it's given him a bit of a, like a protection, he's used to it. CK Vin, do you worry about that?
Yeah, I mean, probably he has his experiences being attacked from behind. But a lot of times it's probably even before any matches happen.
Right.
He hasn't been in a match where like, oh, it's 1v1. He has been facing a formidable opponent in Black Arrow, right? And then so after the match, if let's say he wins, I don't think he will be having the mental capacity to watch what comes from behind him.
If it happens, right?
Yeah, if it happens, probably he has extra fats at the back of his head.
Oh dear
you can't even see anything.
You're definitely going to be watching this match very closely. Shall we move on to the next match? All right, here we go. We got Iman and Alexis Lee. So this is an intergender match. Iman and Alexis Lee versus Riz and Matcha. Okay, tell us a little bit more about Iman and Matcha. I believe they are from... Where are they from? Set up Thailand.
Iman is from SPW, right? It's SPW.
Oh my god. This bird didn't do his research.
What?
He's allowed
in SPW.
Oh, okay. Right.
Right.
He's a Lao Chiao, but he's not
He's a what now?
you're Lao Chiao, bro. Old bird.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh, really? Is Lao Xiao or the other?
That one,
Yeah,
okay, I will not,
okay, we
yeah.
will not say.
We will not say that, yes.
Okay, so
There is-
You
Matcha
need
is
to
from
mention.
Setup. Right.
Yeah, Matcha is from Setup. So she's the Setup All Asia champion in the women's division. Right.
Wow,
And then
okay.
we have Aman. He's the guy that actually got injured in his debut match, but
I
he made
remembered.
his comeback, right, in the gauntlet match, which I soundly beat
Mhm.
Yes,
in
yes.
the last match.
I
Right.
believe he returned at Viva La Lucha. I think he had a match as well. And I saw him grow out his hair. Seems more like grizzled from the first time I saw him, which was like a very baby face.
Mm.
I see.
Yeah. He has his comeback story, right?
Okay.
After his long-term injury, not many people will actually be able to step foot in the ring again because
Yeah.
of the injuries or like the trauma that you get from the
Yeah.
past match, right?
Yeah.
But I gotta give applause to him,
Sure.
for coming back straight into the SPW roster, and then maybe it's so early on in his return, he comes into the gauntlet match to try to get the number one contender for the SPW Singapore champion. Yeah, but he probably didn't expect what came after him.
I'm very curious about the story behind this match because Matcha is teaming up with Riz. Isn't he from the Wolfram cartel? So like, how did they get together and why are they fighting against Iman and Alexis Lee?
Yeah, so if you look at the dynamics of it, Matcha is the All Asia Women's Champion is set up, and then we have Alexis Lee. So Alexis, she has been in the scene for the Queen of Asia Championship, but she just
Yes.
recently lost, and then she didn't
Yeah.
even get back into the championship picture. When she lost her number one contenders. So definitely she has the hunger. She wants to prove herself again. In the region, whether she's able to beat Matcha as the setup women's champion, right? And then we have Reese and Iman, both of them have been in the gauntlet match for the Singapore title. So definitely they will be able to make their mark in the match, because they have just lost their respective opportunities. So this is probably like their time that they can showcase to and learn from the respective champions
Right.
about how they can take the W in the match.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome,
And prove
awesome.
themselves, as it were. Let's talk about another tag team match right now. Two people we're very familiar with, the Horrors, for
Yes.
our
Yes.
best friends, versus the Natural Classics. Okay, tell
Wow.
us a little bit. We know very well what the Horrors bring, but tell us a little bit more about the Natural Classics.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things that the Natural Classics have done in their respective areas in Australia, right? So they actually also have wrestled in Vietnam, as is in the tag team turmoil match, right? So I mean, definitely they are quite an established tag team. If you look at their matches, right, they have so much power, they have so much chemistry in the team. So definitely they are able to match the team chemistry in whatever that you see in the Horrors, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, granted that the Horrors have been a crowd favorite, but definitely, right, if the crowd once they see Natural Classics, oh boy, I think they are in for a ride.
Is this the first time they've been in SPW?
The same question I was about to ask. Yeah.
They've been. Yeah, this is the first time.
Awesome.
So that's why probably they're not familiar, but I think they'll be enjoying the match.
I saw their promo actually that they made, talking about how they've achieved and kind of like they're the top tag team in Australia right now, and then it's time for them to kind of go out there into the world. What do you think is the kind of style that they bring? Is it gonna be like more of a power team because they do look both of them look jacked, or are they like speedsters? What is their style like? What can fans expect when watching them?
I think they bring a lot of this speed and strength into the match. But if you look at the Horrors, sometimes you don't even know what they're gonna pull out of their bag. When they go cuckoo in the ring,
Unpredictability,
yeah, there's the unpredictability. So you don't even know what kind of strategy they're gonna face. So I think when the time comes, they will pull out all their strength. They will use all their speed to try to beat the Horrors for the SPW Southeast Asia Tag Team Championship.
Awesome.
Yeah. The Horrors just won the SPW Southeast Asia Tag Team Championship, so they have extra motivation to hold on to those titles, right?
Yeah, definitely, because it went for quite a long while on the ride to Japan when when CDK won the championships. Yeah,
Yeah,
so now
CDK.
it's back onto the shores of Singapore. So definitely they will have the pride. They will want to defend the title and make it stay in Singapore.
Yeah, I am actually low-key very excited about this match because I kind of have seen a bit of the Midnight Classics. I think this might be a banger, and I think people might come away
Natural
from this match.
classics.
Natural
Natural
classics, sorry.
classics. Don't be a Michael Cole.
No, don't be.
I was
No,
waiting for
Summerfest.
CK to jump in. I was waiting for him to pick on that. I was like,
Natural,
okay.
natural classics, yes. No, because I believe, like, you know, with this kind of style that they're gonna bring to the team, maybe people might remember this match post the show. Yeah.
I think they will. Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Let's talk about the SPW Southeast Asia Championship match. Definitely something you're also really keeping an eye on because, you know, like, yes, you're gunning for the Singapore title right now, but at some point, the Southeast Asia Championship has to be in sort of, you know, on the horizon as well, right? Okay, so we got Aiden Rex, champion, versus Carlo Cannon. Okay, tell us about this. It's look at this guy. Look at this Carlo Cannon guy. He is massive. All right, and we all know
Yes.
Aiden Rex. He's a high flyer. He's a tactician, a submission guy. What are the chances that Aiden Rex retains?
Aiden Rex, you know, he's what every of us wrestlers probably wants to be in, you know, the position that he's in. He's
Right.
been a technical marvel, he's a high flyer.
Yep.
He has built his way from the bottom all the way to the position he is in now.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
he has so many times many people think he's the underdog, but so much of it during his matches, you actually see so much of his talent, how much he can actually bring his opponent to the times that he has actually fought from. So I think there are so many times that there are fans actually shouldn't be underestimating him. Yeah, but
Is
granted
that-
the fact
is
that
that-
he's now facing Carlo.
Is that respect I hear coming out of CK Vin?
Yeah, he's been the SPW Southeast Asia champion.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I gotta give credits to him, but
Oh.
it just so happens I didn't join SPW way back earlier. If not,
Ah.
you
know, that would be
probably
you.
wouldn't see him. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
CK Vin tells the truth, you know,
Mm.
even if it's paying respects to, you know, opponents that's worthy of his time. I think
Sure.
he
Sure.
pays the respects due.
Tell us about what Carlo Cannon is going to bring to this match.
Oh my god, you know Carlo, right? Whenever he shows up in the ring, I think every one of us gets the shivers. You know, he comes out so as a threatening figure. You don't even
Yeah.
know whether he actually will knock you out with just one punch, whether he will German suplex you across the ring, German suplex you out of the ring.
Yeah.
He probably can end the career of his opponents right there. But you know, maybe he's still being a bit lenient to his opponents. He don't want to end their careers. Yeah, but he probably might have a chance to end the title reign of Aiden Rex.
Ooh.
He is a huge man. He looks like a bear. I am
Yeah.
so pumped to see a big size guy go up against like somebody like Aiden Rex with all his technical abilities. Gonna be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Do you see a new champion?
Ooh.
I'm quite 50-50 on the match. You know,
Okay.
It's gotta be won by very fine margins.
Agreed.
Okay. Let's talk about Chris Weiss. Okay, this is for the 01 Heavyweight Championship, right? Chris Weiss, who is the champion, versus the Statement Andrew Tang. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so Andrew, he just lost to Carlo Cannon in my PW, the recent show.
Yes.
So probably he came back banged up after his match. So I mean he has been in positions where he has been fighting out of injuries or places where he didn't want to be in, you know, like during that time when he was drinking lots of beer, lots of alcohol. But you know, he still is able to hang with the opponents in the ring, right? Like Tajiri and all, right? So I mean, I probably expect that he'll be able to hang in the ring with Chris Weiss. But Chris Weiss, we also know that he brings a lot of power, a lot of aggressiveness into the ring. As the 01 heavyweight champion, we've seen him go against Destroyer Dama, against BGJ, even Ho Ho Lun. Like, you know, when he has all the tricks up his sleeve, right? You know, Statement. He gotta do something, you know, pull some tricks out of his back as well. like how he has been in SPW.
Yeah, I mean Chris Vice as well. He is such a tall man. He looks
Mm.
menacing. He looks like
Mm.
Nathan Jones and a Terminator combined together had a baby. So, but of course, statement as the Ric Flair of SPW, right? Do you feel that he is ready to kind of bring it on to his opponent, or I mean, it's just his birthday this past weekend, so is he still gonna be on that birthday hangover?
Oh,
trying to
no.
get over it.
Yeah. He has his birthday, he has his celebration, but definitely the best birthday present would be the 01 World Heavyweight Champion. He has
Yeah.
been in training in Japan last year for quite a period of time, hanging out with the Japanese wrestlers, even Chris
Yes.
Vice as well. He has been training with him in the past, so I think definitely he knows what kind of match he will be in when he faces Chris Vice.
I think this is like the de facto meat match. We always talk about meat match. Like, look at these two guys. They're going to beat the crap out of each other and we're going to be there to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to that.
We know Statement can bring it. He has been such high tolerance for pain. He has so much fight in him. We can't really underestimate him.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's the card for SPW Stronghold, by the way. I don't know if there are still tickets available. You can always check out SPW's social media pages. It's happening on Friday, 7:30 p.m. at the Food Chow building.
Okay, don't forget, there's actually one more surprise match. Maybe you guys didn't follow or keep yourselves updated, right?
Is there? Okay, tell us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's a surprise, then, you telling us now.
It was quite it was just announced last night, so maybe it's a surprise to you all, but it's not a surprise to me, right?
Okay.
So in the past event at Champions Never You 2, we actually saw Destroyer Dharma face off against Ricky Malik, right?
Yes.
So in that match, actually, Destroyer Dharma got himself injured after the match with Ricky, and when Cantona actually delivered his finisher, and he actually tore the biceps off his arm.
Oh dear. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you look at him, he's a muscular guy. He's probably like a meathead, right? he gave me a choke slam before, and I landed on my elbow, right? He probably thought he took me out for a period of time. But at the following show, right, I came back. But what about him? You look at him, you thought he has all the muscles to protect him, but he just got injured at that moment. Yeah.
Okay.
So SPW Stronghold will have Ricky Malik issuing an open challenge to anybody in the roster. But we can't really determine who will have the guts to go up to him,
Right.
Maybe we might even see Cantona being involved in the match. He may even be like a 2-on-1 or I don't know, some special stipulation, because we don't know what's up Ricky Malik's sleeves. He's the Ultra Luminary. He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But he's smart, but he's not as smart as me, because I beat him at Graveyard Shift.
For sure.
Just gotta watch for it.
Would you take up that open challenge? I mean, you do have that contract. You're sitting very pretty right now, so I don't see a reason for you. But
will you be tempted?
Would you? Yeah.
I've already beat him, so I don't see a reason why I need to.
There you go.
Or is that a bluff? We never know with this fella. We never know. That's the thing, right? You gotta keep you guessing. All right.
Okay, but
you just watch Graveyard Shift.
Yeah.
One thing I got to say about Ricky Malik, he looks like a ACS boy gone wrong.
What?
With his outfit, with his school clothes, he looked like those kind of guy, private school, they're not happy, want to stick up wrestling on the side, to fulfill his some sort of narcissistic ambition. So you might be aligned with him in some ways, man. Might have some things in common there, right?
What are you saying? You're gonna get us in trouble? My God.
Maybe, but probably he's too smart for the education system. But actually, I talked to him before when he was much younger. He told me about him trying to apply into ACS, but they just can't align with the intelligence of him, and they just straight up say, "Okay, I don't think you're cut off." But they missed out such an intellectual guy. I don't know what they are.
He is an intellectual savior of the masses,
Okay,
so I am curious to see him fight. One thing, right? I think CKP, you might not be aware on our side. We are doing this thing this season where we are ranking our wrestlers for hashtag SW20, so Singapore Wrestler Top 20, and we are ranking all the wrestlers from SPW, Grapplemax, Ring of Rebirth. So at the end of the year, we'll do our own so-called PWI top 20 list. So I'm very curious because we are not just basing it on match abilities alone. It's everything, right? Charisma, your character and all that. So a lot of
Yeah.
our listeners are very curious to see CK Vin perform, especially this coming Friday if you do, because they want to get you on that list. So hey,
Yeah.
is that something you're gunning for as well?
Maybe they just gotta cheer a bit louder when they come out into the match or the ring or on the stage. You know, maybe their eyes will be focused on me instead of the match. You just gotta
Yeah.
see, you know, if I'm happy with their appreciation for me, maybe I might have a match on the card
Yeah.
or I'll just do something. You know.
Hey, CK Vin, as long as you wrestle minimum 3 matches this year, even if it's a interruption, I think it counts. We will be happy to have you on the list and recognize your greatness in a way. Yeah.
Yes. Better recognize my greatness. I expect to be number 1 at the end of the year.
Awesome. We are happy to be your Bert and Ernie. I think only CK Vin can Kristen us that. We will
Okay.
roll with it. We will wear it proudly, Mr. Young. Yeah.
Sure. I will dress up in a yellow suit in the next episode. Sigurvin, before we wrap things up, what do you want to say to the fans of SPW and, the fans of CK Vin? I'm sure they are out there. What do you want to, if you have a message for them, a shout out to them?
Yeah, thank you to the fans. I know here and there I hear some chants of CKV, and when you're gonna wrestle, we miss you in the ring. We want to see you throw around people. We want to see you scold us. Yeah, but yeah, just keep on waiting. Not everybody will get the chance to be scolded by me. If you matter, maybe I might go up to you.
Awesome.
Tell you the truth. Yeah. So for the other gundus of the SPW fans, yeah, just keep a lookout for SPW on our social media pages. Follow our Instagram, Facebook, and then get the tickets for SPW Stronghold and our following events for the entire year. Because you might never know when I might actually cash this bad boy in.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. There's the mic drop right there. CK Vin, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate you.
It is
Thank
an
you.
honor. It is an honor for
Yes.
you to scold us today.
Yes.
We respect your time, so we shall let you leave right now.
Okay, good job, Bert and Ernie. I'll see you at SPW Stronghold. Yeah.
I will see you. I will.
Yes.
I will come to you, and I will very,
Yeah.
very fearfully shake your hand after the show if I can find you.
Hope to get scolded, huh? Very good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Remember to call me the next SPW Singapore champion as well. Or maybe
Oh.
already the current Singapore champion. You know, never
Awesome.
know.